What is going on, everyone? What is going on? We are on early tonight. We are on early, and there's good reason that I will explain in just a moment here. But welcome to your 2041 Perfect League World Series coverage. We are giving some bonus coverage of the semis. Some additional coverage we've never had on a Perfect League World Series broadcast, and let me show you why. Let me show you why right now. Your Naperville Nomads, your favorite team in all of Perfect Team, is 90 seconds away from either being part of the party tonight and being one of the two teams that you see broadcast in front of you for the Perfect Team World Series Championship, or for the second week in a row, will dip out in the semis and watch the team that beats them play for the title. That team potentially being the Chad Golden Rumps. On the other side of the bracket, we see the Everett Aqua Sox up 3-2 over the defending champion, the Iowa Cornfield Rejects. So if the Cornfield Rejects can get hot here, pick up a couple of W's, they will have an opportunity to repeat this year as Perfect League champion, a feat not done yet this game cycle. So we've got a lot going on. So the first thing we're going to see is a semis game. It is going to be the Naperville Nomads versus the Chad Golden Rumps. The game's going to be played in the Naperville Nomads Stadium, the Thrill, as they call it. And the winner of that game will be part of the World Series. So we're going to be a little bit different. We don't even have our polls ready. I don't have any of my scouting reports done because the teams are not set yet. So we'll be doing that together. Slightly non-traditional fashion tonight. But we need a W here. Nomad Nation needs a W. The sim is cranking, guys. The sim is cranking, and I've got goosebumps over here. I am nervous as can be. What is going to happen? What is going to happen, guys? Sim, any second now, is going to be back. Let's make sure we got hide scores on. We do. And we are going to watch a game for the first time in Naperville Stadium. Who, baby? I am nervous. I am nervous right now. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's uncork the sim. Uncork the sim. Let's see what we have. I present to you the Thrill. Look at it in all its glory. It's a beautiful stadium. It's going to be home to our game tonight. Let's do it. So starting for the Naperville Nomads is Addy Joss. You see him on the mound here. He's going to start against a lineup here that has Jackie at the top, Rose, Keeler, Heilman, Boggs, Appling, Flood, Schmidt, Dickey. Let's get this game underway. Let's get it underway. Joss will start this game off against Jackie Robinson. Kicks and fires, and Jackie shoots this one to right field, a leadoff single. An ominous start for the Nomads, but they'll try to strand him on the base paths. Very next batter, Pete Rose. Rose up in the count, 2-0. The pitch. Grounder to short, could be two. To second, one. To first, double play! How about that? Little crowd noise. Little crowd noise for it. Wainwright, my team, is the home team here. The white jerseys, blue hats, going up against Chad Golden Rumps, and the green jerseys, pink hats. We move to the second round, and we've got a little trouble here. Eddie Plank now into the game, taking over for Addy Joss, and he's got to face Kurt Flood here with runners at second and third, one out. 1-0 count on Flood. The pitch. Fly ball right, not deep. Keeler comes in. He's under it. Catches it. Comes up firing and only bluffing at third is Harry Heilman. An unproductive out keeps the runner at third base. And there are now 2 down in the inning. For Mike Schmidt. Nomads fans stay on their feet. First pitch to Schmidt. Little blooper to short. Under it, and Campty makes the grab. Luke Appling puts the squeeze on it and gets out of the jam here in the second. Holy cow, this seems like an overreaction for a 0-0 game in the second, but it's happening. The Naperville Nomads fans are on fire right now. We go bottom 2, and look what we have here. We have the Nomads with a primo scoring chance. Willie Keeler, fast Willie Keeler at third base. At the plate, Jackie Robinson facing a Johan Santana of the Rumps. Robinson does have to hit through a drawn-in infield here. The Rumps not conceding a run here in the second inning. Santana comes set, delivers, little blooper, base hit down the right field line. Willie Keeler scores. Jackie's thinking 2. The throw, not in time. Naperville Nomads lead early in Game 7. Still here in the second. Mike Schmidt steps in. He's got a 3-1 advantage in the count. Mike Schmidt loves to play the long ball against left-handed pitchers. Could he do it here against Johan? He's got Jackie Robinson at second and 2 out. Santana comes set, delivers, and this ball is belted deep left center! Come on! Mike Schmidt! A 2-run dog here in the second. Make it 3-0 Nomads. Just what the doctor ordered. The Nomads fans love it here in Naperville. 40,000 strong, full throat. We go top 8 now. Massive fast forward. Hope you guys didn't get whiplash there in the crowd. We are moving all the way to top 8. It is 3-0 Naperville still. The Chad Golden Rumps only have 1 hit to this point, but they've got their Mike Schmidt up in the count 3-1 versus the follower Eddie Plank. The pitch. Line drive, base hit, left field. Schmidt turns around a 77-mile-an-hour changeup, finds that 5.5 hole on the left side of the infield, and the Chad Golden Rumps have their second hit of the game and their first base runner here in the 8th inning. Next batter is Bill Dickey. I was about to say R.A. Dickey. It's Bill Dickey, and he's also ahead in the count 3-1. Nomads coach, Nomads bullpen has to be thinking about potentially coming into this game despite Plank's dominance to this point. 3-1 count. Infield looking for 2. They're not going to get it here. That is a 5-pitch walk from Eddie Plank to Bill Dickey, and just like that, the Rumps have the tying runs aboard here in the 8th as they flip the lineup card over to Jackie Robinson, Pete Rose, Willie Keeler due up. 1-0 count on Jackie Plank still in this ball game. The pitch. Ground ball to short. Could be 2. To second, 1 to first. Double play! A huge twin killing off the bat of Jackie Robinson. It goes Appling, Jackie on over to Heilman. And there are now 2 outs. Mike Schmidt moves on over to third. We go bottom 8. So the final runner does not score in the top of the 8th. We go bottom 8. Nomads looking to be in the insurance business here. We've got Felix Hernandez on the hill for the Chad Golden Rumps as he faces Pete Rose for the Naperville Nomads. 1-0 count, the wind and the kick. Little blooper left field line. That's going to find some ground. That's an opposite field single for Pete Rose as he represents the potential 4th run in this ballgame. Nothing doing. Bottom 8. We go top 9. And the Naperville Nomads are 1 strike, 1 out away from heading on to the 2041 Perfect League World Series. Lump in the throat, tear in the eye. Can the Naperville Nomads finish off this ninth inning? Wade Boggs is aboard. Luke Appling is at the plate. The tying run is currently not on deck, but in the hole in the form of Mike Schmidt. Should the Rumps be able to mount something here? But that's not what the home fans want. The home fans looking for a quick and decisive victory here. On in this one is Adam Wainwright, the all-star closer and stopper of the Naperville Nomads. Had one heck of a season, and he's looking for one more out here. 1-2 count on Appling. The pitch, grounder to short, to second. He takes it himself, and the Nomads have done it. The Naperville Nomads are moving on to the 2041 Perfect League World Series. A 4-0 victory in Game 7 of the semis. The Nomads felt confident if they could just push this series back to Naperville, they'd be able to come out ahead, and that's exactly what happens here. A Game 6 victory, a Game 7 victory, and now they plan for what comes next in the Perfect League World Series. The fans love it. They're singing "Go Nomads Go" over the loud system. You love to see it. How about some fireworks? Wow, that is really exciting. That is really exciting. Woo! So I got down in that series 2-1, and I was also down 3-2. And the Chad Golden Rumps, a very active member of the Discord, and someone whose shtick has been growing on me more and more each week. There's some playful banter back and forth on the Discord there, and I'm very, very happy, very, very fortunate to come out ahead in this one. Series MVP Pete Rose. But we move on. We move on to the World Series. Now, who do the Nomads play? We don't know. We're going to find out here in just a moment. The Everett Aqua Sox were up 3-1 in this series and are now tied 3-3 as the Cornfield Rejects, the 2040 Perfect League champions, have won Game 5 by a score of 10-1 and have now won Game 6 by a score of 2-1. So this is going to give Naperville a much-needed rest for the bullpen. Bullpen was extremely taxed in both of the last two series. Whew. I don't know how I'm going to be able to hold up tonight, guys. I was legitimately shaking as I'm clicking these plays forward. It is not healthy to care as much as I do about the Naperville Nomads winning in Perfect Team. Oh, hey, let me ask you guys a question about stream quality. Is it clear or is it foggy to you? I'm trying to look on my other monitor at how it looks. And when I have it normal size, it looks a little fuzzy, but when I blow it up, it looks clear. If it was fuzzy, I could always relaunch it. Very clear. All right, good. Good. So while we wait for the result of the Rejects and the Aqua Sox, we can do somewhat of a deeper dive into my team, because we know that my team will be the one that we see play tonight, and then we'll see who I end up playing up against. Wow, this is a really cool moment. I was streaming the World Series when I made it and won it last year, but it was on my own channel. There was maybe 40 people there, and it was early on in the cycle. And so it didn't have nearly the same, I don't know what the word is. Didn't have nearly the same gusto, or if you will, as this. And so this is super cool. When the game cycle started, I was really hoping that one day I'd make perfect, and that within perfect, I'd make the playoffs, and then within the playoffs, I'd make it to the World Series and have a chance to do this. And so this is really cool that it's happening. So I'm glad you guys are here with me, and hopefully we come out ahead, and we can have some really unbiased and enjoyable broadcasts. Crash SF Giants is correct. It didn't have drops back then. It didn't have drops. Whew. All right, let's check out the Nomads. Let's see what they're all about as we wait a minute and a half here for the next sim. All right, we'll follow the same path we always do. Normally I have some notes jotted down, but I know this team pretty well, so I should be able to do it without any pre-prep. So runs scored, runs allowed. From a run scoring perspective, the Nomads were good this year. 812 runs, third in the conference. Run prevention-wise, good as well. Third in the conference there. 651 runs allowed. You put the two together, we're looking at about 160 positive run differential, one of the higher marks that you see on these types of streams. And underpinning that run prevention had a very strong defense. The defensive efficiency right at that 0.7 mark that we look for. Zone rating off the charts here at plus 31.3. So the Nomads were picking it with the leather all season long, stacking up that zone rating. Now, from an overall record perspective, the Nomads were the number one overall seed in all of Perfect Team, 98 wins, besting all of the other teams within Perfect League. Their division mate, I got to make sure I get the name right, division mate Hong Kong Hyundai also had 97 wins, and so the Nomads and Hyundai had to play a game 163 to determine the eventual division champion, and that's why you see that 98 plus 65 equals 163 instead of the typical 162. Now, home road split-wise, the Nomads strong at home, 53 and 28. Not quite 2 out of 3, but approaching it. And then on the road, another strong showing as well. 548 win percentage, a 45 win, 8 game over 500 performance there. From a calendar perspective, it was incredible. I've never had a weekend perfect team go as good as this week did through April and May. As you see, a 17-4 April that felt like everything I was doing was working, which was a great feeling. A 19-9 May was more or less a continuation of that. And then reality settled in. June was actually under 500. July, a battle, but 4 games over 500. August, pretty solid. And then got back to a little bit of a hot streak in September, picking up 18 wins there. Closed out October on a 1-5 stretch as well. Hero Driver asking about my park, and he knows that is exactly where we go from here. So let's go to my ballpark. So my park is not cheesed left or right. It's a neutral average ballpark, a neutral doubles ballpark, a neutral triples ballpark, but look at the home runs. So this week, I went 1.1 with the homers for lefties and 1.1 with the homers for righties. And it's not because I love dingers. I do love dingers. I absolutely do love dingers. But the reason that I went and juiced out the home runs is as I looked at the build options that exist. You know, Mike Schmidt versus Buddy Bell. Yastrzemski versus Musial. And at the time, Appling versus Larkin. I had chosen the power guy in every one of those decisions. And so I felt like a power build would advantage me more so than the teams that came in to play me. So while I wanted to be straight neutral down the board, I went with the home runs being juiced because of those decisions that I had made in a vacuum and hoping to accentuate those decisions, those positives, and those deltas between those different players. Now, by the time the season ended, Larkin had left my team, Appling had joined it, Buddy Bell had actually worked his way back in as a versus left DH. So some changes happened, but overall the build and the stadium I liked. All right, so what do we do after we look at the stadium? We look at the players. So here are your lineup overviews for the Naperville Nomads. You see Appling right atop that versus right lineup there. You see him playing DH, as I've also got Arky Vaughn going at shortstop. You see Joe Morgan in there. So I actually do not play Jackie Robinson versus right. However, with the fatigue being what it is in this game cycle, you know, Jackie's going to play plenty. He's going to back up shortstop. He'll back up second base. He'll back up DH as need be. And he'll get into plenty of games, even versus right. On the versus left side, you see I've got Buddy Bell and Mike Schmidt. I've got Dave Winfield over Chicken Hawk. I've got Kurt Flood there, which is pretty standard stuff. Harry Heilman, who has been a godsend for me. Now, looking at my top performers, Jackie had just an unbelievable year. I don't know if they announce MVP after the season, like after the playoffs are done, but I got to believe that Jackie's going to be right in the inner circle of consideration. There was 6.3 WAR on the season. He went 308, 395, 528 on the triple slash, stacked up a ton of production there. 78 ribbies, 96 runs, 26 homers. Jackie Robinson with 26 homers. His previous high for me was 18. So definitely had the hot Jackie this week. And so those are the hitters. Now, on the pitching side of things, this isn't really representative of what I ran during the season, as it's been altered for the games to come. But you see that in terms of games started, there's a lot of different people in that circle. There are 7 different names here that started at least 10 games. Hernandez, Royce, Perry, Glavin, Plank, Blue, Kershaw. You see Brandon Webb, Joss, Derek Lowe all picked up a handful of starts as well. Adam Wainwright was the one guy I did not touch all season long. Wainwright was incredible for me. He had a 1.84 ERA over the course of the season, 102 innings, all in relief, picked up 20 saves, 13 holds, got 4 wins in the process as well. One of the best Wainwright seasons I've ever had, and as I mentioned during the game, made the All-Star team. And so these are the inner circle of pitchers. I might make a roster move or two before the series actually starts, and I'll blind that out. All right, what do we do next? We look at the path. So the path for the Nomads. It was a very challenging first round. I faced Seawitt and his Castroville Mashers. Took me to 5 games. I won my 2 at home. He won his 2 at home. And then it all came down to a deciding Game 5 winner-take-all in Naperville. And the Nomads were able to advance. Round 2 took on Cartier Cutthroats, former Perfect League champion. Nomads able to get that one done in 6 as well. Again, finishing on home turf. And then the semi-series that we just watched the conclusion of, the Naperville Nomads 3-1 at home there. So the trend really being success on home turf. And now we can see from this screen that the Everett Aqua Sox are the opponent. So let's cap off our history lesson here for the Nomads. So Nomads 4th week in Perfect League, 4 weeks in the playoffs, 0 World Series appearances until this one, 0 World Series titles. So we'll see if the Nomads can break that here tonight. Now, on the fly, let's look at the Everett Aqua Sox. We'll follow the same path. Runs scored, 12th in the league, 700 runs scored. Runs allowed, 621, 3rd in the conference there. So run differential around 80, or half that of the Naperville Nomads. And we see that there are some cracks in the foundation when it comes to defense. Aqua Sox 17th in the league with defensive efficiency only at .682. Zone rating is above water at plus 2.6, but that mark only good for 11th in the conference. The overall record was 87-75, and I feel like every team in the league finished 87-75. It was unbelievable. Look at this. We have the Aqua Sox, Taylor Swift, Iowa Cornfield Rejects, Maine Whiskey Tango. 4 different teams in the conference finishing at 87-75, Everett Aqua Sox being one of them. As we look at their home road split, very good at home, 48-33, not quite a 50-win season, which we target, but certainly something that you'll take. On the road, just underwater, 39-42 there. The season did not start well for the Aqua Sox. 8-13 April had to have them doubting as to whether or not this was the week that the relegation Puma was going to eat them. Didn't end up being the case, as there was a hot May, 17-11, got them right back to water level. And then a decent June was pushing them up before July was another application of the brakes. A treading water August set up for a September and October that needed to be just as hot as they were between the two, 25-9, and they sneak into the playoffs. Seawitt has it right, an absolute roller coaster of a season. Lots of ups, lots and downs, but hot at the right time, and they find themselves in the Perfect League World Series. Now, the Everett Aquasox are a team that I played in the playoffs last year. I was lucky enough to come out ahead last year, and we'll be looking to replicate that this year. Let's look at the build itself. Here are your lineup overviews. So you see versus, and again, I'm doing this live with no prep, which is certainly a little foreign, but we'll try to muscle through it here. Let me check and make sure we don't have a sim. I think it's going to be an off day. Yep, off day coming first. So back to the Aquasox lineups. We see Ned Hanlon leading off. So a lot of people have moved on from Hanlon, but there are some devout Hanlon believers still sticking around. Pidge being one of them. I believe Hanlon's still part of his build. Twins fans, Aquasox here still has Hanlon leading off that versus right lineup. Moving on down the lineup here, we've got Archie at short. Andrelton Simmons going the other way, playing short at versus left. So there's your platoon there. Wander Franco still part of this build as well. He is batting 9th in the VR lineup. He's batting 5th in the VL lineup. At catcher, we've got Piazza versus left. We've got Bill Dickey versus right. Mike Schmidt, the choice at third base versus left. And then your prototypical Oscar Charleston and Kurt Flood platoon. Let's look at the pitching. So the pitching likely not representative of what we'll see in this series as well, because he's down to 3 rotation players and then a bullpen full of middle relievers. But in looking at who started this year, look at Vida Blue and look at Santana. So Vida Blue makes 52 starts, but only throws 74 innings. So the Aquasox clearly moving in on the opener movement. As we look at the pitching box scores here, you see all of these game scores. And so when there is a game score in this column, you know that that was the game that he started. And so just about every time that he made an appearance, he was starting, but it appears that none of those were actual starts. They were all openers, as on none of those starts did he go longer than 2 innings. So Vida Blue, a proven opener for him. Vida Blue was great over the course of the season, 3.15 ERA. A solid season. Same can be said for Johan Santana. In looking at his box scores, you see that there appears to be no traditional starts here as well. So all opens. So that's one thing that the Nomads will have to be weary of. The opener lineups will likely be used here in this series, as Vida Blue and Johan Santana are likely to be opening. HDA sharing that the manager of the Aquasox is one of the best in Out of the Park 19, an early innovator. So who else started for this team? We have Clayton Kershaw, 18 starts, not a ton of innings. So I'm guessing some of those are opens as well. Tom Glavine, 16 starts, not a ton of innings there. So where were the innings? Where were the innings for this team? It was Gaylord Perry. It was Pedro Martinez, Felix Hernandez, and Derek Lowe. So none of them starting many games, but all of them approaching 200 innings pitched. So a team moving all in on the opener strategy and clearly having some success with it. Now remember, their run prevention was 3rd best in the league. So perhaps there's something to be learned and gleaned from the Everett Aquasox and their pitching deployment this season. Let's look at the ballpark. All right, what do we have here? We have got no lefty or righty cheese, guys, in the whole World Series. I know some of you are anti-handedness cheese. Well, you're not going to see any of it tonight. What you will see is you'll see my ballpark, which was the neutral plus power, and this ballpark is the max average, minimum gaps, minimum home runs. Max average, minimum gaps, minimum home runs. So what's going to happen for this ballpark here? You're going to see a lot of singles. And perhaps that is a big part of why Ned Hanlon is still on this team. Ned Hanlon can turn singles into doubles. He can turn singles into triples. And he can do so better than most. And so stolen bases can take on increased importance in a ballpark like this, where it's difficult to hit the ball over the fence and it's difficult to clear the bases with a gapper. The Everett Aquasox Stadium, called the Trident Beach Park. 32,000 strong will be in attendance, no doubt. Let's look at the path the Aqua Sox took to get here. So they played Maine Whiskey Tango in the first round. For anyone unfamiliar, I've got a score to settle with Maine Whiskey Tango. They dumped me from my first ever appearance in the Perfect League World Series. Unceremoniously, I think it was in 5 games, might have been 6, but I think it was 5. And I've been waiting for an opportunity to return the favor. Won't get it this week because their first round opponent, the Aqua Sox, dumped them. 5-game series, Aqua Sox come out on top. Round 2, the Aqua Sox face Mango Sandwich and his Austin Soul. Aqua Sox make quick work of them, winning in 5 games. Then in the semis, the Aqua Sox face the Cornfield Rejects and come out with that dramatic 7-game series win. Let's see what happened exactly in that 7th game. So the Aqua Sox win 5-3, a game that they took an early lead. Fell behind 3-1 early, but a 3-run third gives them a lead that they would never relinquish as they stack up 7 consecutive zeros from innings 3 to innings 9. Enough to win the series and win the game. So those are the 2 teams. Let me get a straw poll built here, and we'll ask you who's going to win. So Naperville Nomads or Everett Aqua Sox. Straw poll is built, and it's going in the chat. Out of the park meme lord, DRC in 7. He can say it and finally mean it. Chess Safari wishing me good luck. Thank you so much, bud. Good to chat with you again. High Desert Ace took Everett over the Rumps in his bracket. Speaking of the brackets, let me update those and let's see who's winning. So let's push the Aqua Sox from that side. Let's push the Nomads from this side and see who's in first place. View standings. Ooh, okay. So we've got the Mac Jacks in first place alone with 17 points. He's got a potential of 25, as he actually has both sides of this matchup. He has the Aqua Sox and the Nomads in the World Series. He has chosen the Nomads to win. Kudos to him. Now, second place, we've got WG Supercells. 1 point behind Mac Jacks. Now he has got the Warbirds to win it all, which clearly will not be happening. So he is stuck at his 16 points. Water in third with 15 points. He's got the Aqua Sox winning it all. Irvine 2 with 15 points. He has got the Nomads winning it all. And it appears like we've got one other player. So Cali has the Everett Aqua Sox. So if the Nomads win, it's going to be Mac Jacks 1 and Irvine 2. If the Aqua Sox win, it will be, is it Water? Yep, it'll be Water 1. And then it will be Cali 2. Those are your potential winners tonight. And I guess we do pay out third place, so we'll figure that all out in due time. DRC in 13 says Yuka. Hero Driver asking if Dickey Crandall is the best catching option. I think you'd see a lot of people say that. You know, some people like McCarver. He's got a higher BABIP than Dickey. Some people like the limited edition Thurman Munson card. He's going to hit better than Crandall versus left. All right, 13 minutes to the sim. So I'm going to make some adjustments here. If I had some elevator music, I would play it for you. But I'm going to set up my team. I'll put up myself on big camera here. There we go. I'm going to set up my team for Game 1, which will take place in Naperville. So remember, that's the high home run ballpark. Now, from a starting pitcher perspective, I've got some choices. I've got Glavine, Vida Blue, Kershaw, Gaylord Perry, Jerry Royce, Brandon Webb, all rested. And so it's a matter of who's ready for the moment, who's ready for the spotlight. Port Dog says, looks like a DRC night, and I certainly hope that he is right. All right, I think I've selected a starting pitcher. It's like a Street Fighter player select screen. Landing on the guy you want. And this is exciting. This is exciting to be here in the World Series with however many, 600 of my best friends here, ready to see what goes down. Hopefully we get a lot of this tonight. Now I do have a ballpark built for home run balls, so maybe that increases our chances ever so slightly. I'm messing around with some bullpen rolls here. Going into that Game 7, I really had few options, and so I had to deviate from what my normal setup was just to get through that game. But now I can clean up some of the gunk. Some of the batter face maxes that I had, some of the roll types, some of the secondary rolls. Get everything in order so that when my AI has to make some tough decisions, they make them correctly. Now, one of the tough decisions that they've been struggling with is when to play the infield in. And so that is one thing that I'm going to tone down. I'm getting annoyed at how often I see them playing the infield in like the third inning of a tie ball game. So let's turn that down. "10 minutes to our Game 1 sim. After I feel comfortable that I've got everything in order, we'll go back to the screen. And we'll talk about some of the snowflakes that I've got to work around. I've got Tom Glavine on Snowflake, Jerry Royce on Snowflake. I've got Yastrzemski and Winfield, both icy cold as well. One of the things that I like to do as I'm setting a lineup is I look at my opponent's versus right lineup, and I look at their versus left lineup. And I see which one I'd rather face. Not an easy decision when people have good balanced lineups like the Aqua Sox do here tonight. All right, I think we're good to go. Feeling good, feeling great. 9 minutes to the sim. What we can do is we can play with some data while we wait. We can play with some data while we wait. So I've got some new stuff to share with you guys tonight. The first being what's been on the screen ever since we've started, the all-time PT22 PEL wins leaderboard. And so these teams here are the leaders in regular season wins. At the very top, you see the Pigeontown Pigeons, 130 wins above second place. And oh boy, did they have a close call with the Puma this week. Look at the final wildcard picture. You see that the best damn Pigeontown Pigeons made it in and did so in the final wildcard spot, and did so only one game ahead of the closing strong Cleveland Spiders that won 9 of their last 10 games. So the Pigeontown Pigeons survive what was a very tight wildcard race. I mean, look at this. Going all the way down to the master batters, the Massachusetts master batters, down here at 80 wins. I mean, there's not a ton of separation here. So between Massachusetts all the way up to the Macarenas, you have a 9-win delta separating, what is that, 12 teams? So a very tight AC this year, for sure. And Pidge comes out ahead. So Pidge will have an opportunity to grow this lead next week. He'll push above and beyond 1,039 wins, assuming he doesn't go 0-162. So a definite scare for the Pigeons. But other than that, we've got the Chad Golden Rumps. Rumps will be sticking around for at least another week. Cartier Cutthroats, they'll be here. The Iowa Cornfield Rejects are coming in at 6. They will be returning. Maine Whiskey Tango 8, Macarenas 9, and Warbirds 10. All teams to be returning. Now the question is, and we'll start to have some Diamond League results filtering in soon, who will be joining them? Do the Cheetahs come back? Do the Gary South Shore Railcats come back? Does D. Boyer come back? Time will tell. Now, there's another team that I want to call out, and this team might have had the most incredible Perfect League run of any team. And that team is Bob Loblaw's Law Blogs. And so we'll pop up his history page here, and we'll talk about that for a second. This is literally beyond belief. This is the craziest thing I've seen in Perfect Team. So, Bob Loblaws, he's a diamond team. He's winning somewhere between 90 and 110 wins a week. And then the 2036 season comes around. He wins 92 games in the regular season and then has to play game 163. He's able to play it, he's able to win it, and he's able to move on and win his Diamond League, earning him entrance into Perfect League. First season in Perfect League, 86 and 76. Or excuse me, 85 and 77. Guess what? They've got to play game 163 again. In so doing, they win game 163. They move into the playoffs, avoid relegation. Fast forward to the next season, 85 wins. Somehow avoid relegation there. That's very much a dangerous win total to survive, but they do it. Moving into the next year, 84 and 80. So what does that mean? That means they had to play game 163, win it, and then play game 164 and win that too. Last week, 82 and 80 in the regular season, have to play game 163. They play it, they win it, they stick around for another week. And this week they go 82 and 80. They get eaten by the relegation Puma in only 162, and Chad Golden Rumps made the good point that had it gone to 163, they likely would have won that. You see that they are 3 games out of the wild card here and closed on an L6. So what could have been for the Law Blogs, if they could have just split those games instead of dropping them all, they're tied with the Pigeontown Pigeons and playing game 163. Total wildness for the Bob Loblaw's Law Blogs. All right, let's check out our poll here. So we've got a ton of votes in, and we've got 78% of people voting that the Naperville Nomads will win the World Series. I love the support. Nomad Nation loves you and appreciates you. CF Genesis in the chat, he absolutely put the knife to Law Blog's throat here. You see the final 6 games were 6 straight losses. You had the Spiders winning 3, and then the Crozet Storm Kings winning 3 as well, dominating in each one. A 4-12 loss, a 3-12 loss, and a 2-12 loss. So 36 runs over 3 games for the Storm Kings, sending the Law Blogs packing. Incredible. All right, 4 minutes until game 1. What else do I have to show you guys? Here's something new. So I started looking at the handedness of Perfect League. So we all know that the meta, that the cards that people use is a constantly evolving journey. And it depends on who's in the league. It depends on people mimicking other people's success. And so I decided to break this down by year and by handedness. And so you see that early Perfect League was very right-handed. This is when Cy Young was your starter. This is when, I don't know, Don Sutton maybe, Live Reward was one of your starters. All the starters were right-handed. There were very few lefties to go around. And from that initial week, we basically had a reduction in righties every single week until this one. And so you might ask, why did righties rebound this week? And the answer is going to be Gaylord Perry and Felix Hernandez. So those 2 cards entering the fold and being strong enough to convince people to either move out of lefty builds or move away from lefty starters has pushed this trend the other way. So that is pitcher handedness by game started. As we slide on over, we can look at pitcher handedness by innings pitched. It's a similar story. It's slightly different, but 60-40 split here for total innings. All right, 2 minutes until the sim. Let's look at just a couple market share charts. We will start with first base. So let's try to find the positions that really got turned on their head this week. First base is not one of them. So we got the Roger Connor card, but that's not going to be a card that many people have, and it's going to be a card that costs a pretty penny for a long time. So I don't expect that to rocket up this chart. If it was an SE that everyone got, then yeah, that would be knocking off a lot of this market share. But for now, it's still a Pete Rose-led position there. We have Giambi actually losing some decent amount of market share week over week, going from 22% to 15%. But let's go to second base, which is a position that did see a big change. So here at second base, we have Jackie Robinson dropping from 70% of all plate appearances to 65%, and growing significantly is Joe Morgan. So Jackie only lost 5%, whereas Joe Morgan picked up 17%. So that tells you a lot of those secondary options, your Frankie Frisches, your Miller Huggins, your Tony Fernandez, all losing market share and ceding it to Joe Morgan. Is Joe Morgan really legit? I'm a big fan of him. Let's see what Joe Morgan did for me. Here's my Morgan. 246 average, 336 on base, 411 slug, right around a league average bat. He did steal 32 bags in 44 tries, so pretty valuable there. 16 hits over the fence. 40 seconds, and the nerves are starting to hit DRC as game one is coming and coming quickly here. Let's look at third base. This will be the last position we look at for the time being. And here you see a total turnover here. So Wander Franco, who 2 short weeks ago was at 53% of all third base plate appearances, drops to 41 last week, drops to 29 this week, and grabbing the lion's share of those new plate appearances is Mike Schmidt, going from 7% last week to 23% this week. A lot of people buying in on that card's defense, buying in on that card's power, and it paying dividends to those that are using it. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I might need to put a cold cloth on the back of my neck here. We're going to need to stay calm here. We're going to need to stay chill. Game one, Perfect League 2041 World Series coming at you here any second now. Any second now. Meme Lord pointing out that Bird Profile's doing better this season, and he's absolutely right. Let me make sure I've got hide scores on. We don't want to spoil anything. Let me pop out and pop back in. And if anyone was expecting me to be an objective broadcaster, your expectations will not be met. You are getting Hawk Harrelson reborn as DRC. All right, here we go, guys. So Gaylord Perry on the mound for the Nomads. Looking at a fiery lineup for the Aqua Sox. It's starting with Tim Raines, who's got a flame. It's starting with Willie Keeler, who's also got a flame. Jackie Robinson batting third. Let's get into it. On the right side of the screen, I do see my opener lineup is in there, which tells me that the Aqua Sox will be using an opener here tonight. There's a laced ball to the left center field gap. Splits it. Tim Raines on his way to second. He's got a leadoff extra base hit to start off this series. Now the Nomads were shifted there, shifting to the opposite field, which opened up some room. And Tim Raines, like a pool player calling a shot, shot it right out there. It's got a leadoff double. Still here in the first, out of the game goes Gaylord Perry. Into this game comes Vida Blue. And Vida Blue is going to be facing Mike Schmidt here. 1-2 count on Schmidt. Nomads looking for 2. Wind and the pitch. And that ball's hit to the second baseman. Could be 2. To second, 1 to first. Double play. The Nomads get out of the first inning with a double play off the bat of Michael Schmidt. He's wearing the icicle, and it sure showed up there. Nomads avoid the early deficit here in the first. We head to the bottom. Bottom two, Nomads' first highlight of the World Series. What will they do with it? It will be against Vida Blue of the Aqua Sox, and it will be with Luke Appling aboard at first base with nobody out. Mike Schmidt in the batter's box. Wind and the pitch, and that ball is crushed. Deep right center field, it might be. It could be. It is a home run for Mike Schmidt. A tasty taco, an Oppo taco here in Naperville. Gives the Nomads and gives Nomad Nation something to cheer about here early in game one. 2-0 Nomads. We go top three. Nomads looking to protect that newly found lead. Gonna have to work through a couple of fireballs here in Willie Keeler to start off this third inning. Vida Blue comes set. Kicks. Fires. And that ball is crushed to the left center field line. Back goes Rose. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Tim Raines, who started the game off with an opposite field double, comes up here in his second plate appearance and sends one 334 happy feet down the left field line, cutting that Nomad lead in half, now 2-1. Still top three, and Vida Blues found some more trouble. Wander Franco batting, runners at the corners. Nomads hoping for two here. Blue comes set, delivers, and that ball is shot to the opposite field, a base hit for Franco. Around second and holding there is Schmidt. We've got a brand new ball game, and the Aqua Sox still rallying here in the third. Next batter's Pete Rose, a double play candidate if Vida Blue can induce one. Swing and a miss, strike three. A big strikeout for Vida Blue. Second out of the inning. We'll place this rally into the hands of Mike Piazza. And Piazza can't come through. The third inning ends. Naperville does nothing in their half. We now move to the top of the fourth. And Oscar Charleston steps in for the Aqua Sox. He's got Andrelton Simmons at first. Blue comes set, delivers, and that ball is striked into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Simmons will hold at second. That is the 8 and 9 hitters both getting aboard to start off this inning and turn things over to that fiery top of the Aqua Sox lineup, Willie Keeler and Jackie. Here is Raines, first at bat, double to left center, second at bat, bomb into the bleachers in left. What's he going to do for an encore? 1-2 count. Blue comes set, delivers, swing and a miss, strike three. Vida Blue reaches back for a little something extra, touches 98 on the gun with an elevated fastball, and Raines unable to catch up to it. A big first out for the Nomads here in the fourth. Next up, Willie Keeler, also donning the fireball, so it's not any old Willie Keeler, it is fire. Willie Keeler, and this broadcaster here is scared deeply to the core. 0-1 count, the pitch. Grounder could be two to second base. To second, one to first, in time! A double play for the Nomads. Second time this game they get out of trouble with a twin killing. The Aqua Sox have picked up 9 hits through 2 innings, but are currently knotted at 2. Tough to double up Wee Willie, as Hero Driver says in the chat. But the Nomads pull it off here. The combo of Robinson, Appling, and Heilman getting the job done. We go bottom 4. Tom Glavine into this one. He'll face Mike Schmidt. Schmidt is a powerful bat. And in this ballpark, his power should play up even a little bit more. 1-0 ahead in the count against Glavine. The pitch, and that ball's hit well. Deep right field. Going back is Keeler. Back at the wall. Gone! Mike Schmidt bombs one to right. Nomads back in the lead. It's 2 for Tuesday. Second Oppo Taco of the game. And Nomads fans are right back into this one. The Nomads have been dodging raindrops all night long, stranding a village of Aqua Sox on the bases. And they should count their lucky stars. They have a lead here in the fourth. Crusader fan, correct. That one almost went into Schwarber territory. Still bottom four, and the Nomads have a big chance here. Charleston at second, Keeler at first, 2 outs for Bill Dickey. This is not a great matchup for Bill. Let's use our matchup analyzer to show you how not great it is. Bill Dickey versus left. Please give me Tommy Glavine versus left as well. Definitely an advantage to the pitcher. But here in Nomad Land, Nomad Nation, we cheer for moments like this. So you've got the crowd on their feet trying to root on Bill Dickey for the most unlikely of RBI opportunities. The pitch. Ball 4. Dickey works a 6-pitch walk. And that's going to turn the lineup over and bring up a much more dangerous, much more potent bat in the form of Pete Rose. Pete Rose versus Wright. You see he's a 10.57 bat R against right-handed pitching. An OBP-heavy profile, 367 in the OBP, but certainly not lacking in the batting average department at 287. He's ahead in the count 1-0. He's got Nomad Nation standing on their feet, hoping to crack open this game one. Glavine comes set, delivers, ground ball to second, picks it, throws it, and that will end the threat. The Nomads load the bases, but leave with just the 1 run, courtesy of the opposite field home run by Schmidt. We head to the 5th, Nomads 3, Aqua Sox 2. Top 6, another highlight for the Aqua Sox. This one's going to start with Pete Rose facing Vida Blue. Vida Blue has not been sharp today, but he has avoided total damage for the most part. Rocks and fires against Rose, and Rose laces this one up the middle. That's a leadoff single. Vida Blue will have to work around some more base runners here in the 6th. Next batter, Mike Piazza. Piazza against left-handed pitching, a powerful hitter, and in a ballpark like this, with the wind blowing out, only becomes more dangerous. And the pitch, runner goes, throw down to second, in time! Pete Rose caught stealing on what appears to be a busted hit and run. Pete Rose in motion against a left-handed pitcher with a stronghold runner, not something that you'd see very frequently, so one must assume the hit and run was on. Piazza swings through the 96-mile-an-hour heater, and dead to rights at second base is Pete Rose. A big first out here in Naperville, here in the 6th. We move to the bottom of the 6th, and the Nomads are cooking here. Willie Keeler at second, Bill Dickey at first. At the plate is Pete Rose. The exact matchup that's already configured in our matchup analyzer. Advantage goes to the hitter here, and a huge opportunity for Rose to give the Nomads some distance here in game one. Glavine comes set, delivers, ground ball, second base, could be two, to short one, to first, in time, double play, inning over. Nomads don't take advantage of a scoring opportunity. We will head to the 7th. Nomads 3, Aqua Sox 2. Top 7, Vida Blue still cooking. He's facing Tim Raines. Now, Raines has done a lot of damage in this game, but his last time up, he did strike out with a couple runners aboard. What does he have in mind for his 4th plate appearance? It's pretty rare in one of these highlight reels to get 4 consecutive plate appearances for a hitter, but we're getting it here tonight. Vida Blue rocks, Vida Blue fires, and this one is lifted into left. That's going to drop in front of Rose. A leadoff single for Tim Raines, who is an absolute menace on the base paths. Tim Raines has quickly stolen second base as Willie Keeler has taken a couple of strikes in a ball. So now Tim Raines representing the tying run in scoring position. Nobody out as Vita Blue faces Willie Keeler here. Fly ball left field playable. Rose comes in. He camps under it. He'll make the grab. Then Raines is going to try to tag. And he will make it. A very aggressive base running play by Tim Raines, as that was neither deep nor that far towards center field. Pete Rose shifts over, makes the grab, probably caught slightly by surprise by Raines, and Raines didn't hesitate for a moment. The moment it hit Rose's leather, he was off to the races, and as Rose figured out what was going on, he fired on over to third. Schmidt catches it, applies the tag, but it was well late. Excellent aggressive base running by the Aqua Sox have now put them in a position to tie this game. Now the Naperville Nomads infield does come in. The sliders are working. I left my late innings infield turned on, and I turned down my early infield innings. So we've got the infield in exactly when I'd want them to be in this huge at-bat here. Let's set it up with the matchup analyzer. So we've got Jackie Robinson versus left, and Jackie had an absolutely huge season this year, not only for the Naperville Nomads, but globally, and did a ton of his damage versus left-hand pitching. Let's see what he can do here. You've got the Naperville Nomads fans on their feet looking to coax a strikeout out of this matchup. Jackie, a tough guy to send down swinging, but we'll see if Vita Blue has something up his sleeve here. The wind and the pitch, and that ball's going to be lofted into center field for an RBI single. We are all tied up at 3. Jackie Robinson now aboard here with 1 out in the 7th, and if you're the Nomads, you've got to be thinking about how much longer Vita Blue is going to go in a game where he's approaching 10 hits allowed. And that is our answer. So Vita Blue leaves. Into this game comes Jerry Royce, somewhat of an odd decision to go to Royce as Mike Schmidt is the batter. But we'll see if the coach playing a hunch can pay off here. 2-2 count. Wind in the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jerry Royce reaches back, finds 97, and Mike Schmidt finds himself a spot on the left bench. Second out of this inning in the 7th. The Nomads 1 out away from turning it over to the bottom half, trying to unbreak this tie. And they will have that chance here. Tommy Glavine still on the hill for the Aqua Sox, now facing Jackie Robinson to lead off this 7th. Jackie in contention for the MVP award, and he laces this one up the middle. A leadoff single for Jackie gives the Nomads something to work with here in the 7th. Angered Unicorn wants me to tone down the homerism. If anything, as this series gets deeper, it will be toned up. 1 out now for Harry Heilman. Harry Heilman, an absolutely deadly bat versus left-hand pitching. We haven't seen that yet in this series. Nomads rooting for it now. The pitch, and this one's lofted into right field and deep. Going back is Keeler, back to the wall, caught. Tagging on the play and bluffing a charge towards second is Robinson. He will not attempt it. Heilman misses a third Oppo Taco of this game for the Nomads by a couple of feet, and we will remain tied here in the 7th. 1 out now for Luke Appling. Luke Appling not known for his hits versus left-hand pitching. He rocks a pretty good on-base percentage, but not someone who's going to punish left-hand pitching too frequently. But we'll see what he does here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tommy Glavine reaches back, throws this one right by Appling. 95 on the gun. Appling definitely a better hitter versus right-hand pitching, and that was on display there. Mike Schmidt, now the last hope for the Nomads here in the home half of the 7th. He'll bat with a 2-2 count. And the pitch. And the ball gets away. Piazza chases it, will not be able to prevent Jackie Robinson from moving on up to second base. So the Nomads will now have a full count on Schmidt and a runner in scoring position. Crowd on their feet trying to root Schmidt on to unbreak this tie here. Full count. The pitch. Ball 4. Ball 4. The inning will continue. Oscar Charleston due up. Nothing doing. What happened? It looks like... So Oscar Charleston is still the batter due if you look over here on the box score on the bottom right. So I'm guessing that a runner got picked off to end that inning. Oh, they called strike 3. It was a horrible call. Horrible call. King Butcher, Obelix Prime, Charlatan Prime, Angered Unicorn. Horrible call. See, I can't even see it. It was that bad of a call. We need to get the robot umps into Perfect Team because they are blowing these games left and right. Unbelievable. We go to the top of the 8th. Into this game comes Adam Wainwright. Now, I specifically called out Adam Wainwright because he was arguably my best pitcher this season. 102 rock-solid sub-2 ERA in late game, close game situations. He was absolutely someone that could be trusted in every and any situation, and that's exactly what the AI manager choosing to do here tonight. It's got 2 outs in the 8th inning. Carl Yastrzemski aboard, representing the go-ahead run, and facing Oscar Charleston here. 3-1 count on Oscar. The pitch, and that is ball 4. A free pass will push Charleston to first, Yastrzemski to second, and turn the lineup over for who else? Who else but Tim Raines? We've seen 4 plate appearances for him already this game, and now we will see a 5th. He's rocking the fire emote. He's got 3 base hits. He's got a strikeout. He is a double shy of the cycle, and the Everett Aqua Sox and their fans would love to see him complete that cycle here and give them a 2-run lead. Nomads fans on their feet. Wainwright's got him down to 2 strikes. Strike away from punching through this rally. Comes set, delivers, looped into left field. That ball is down. Rose has it, throws home. Not in time. Carl Yastrzemski scores, and the Aqua Sox take the lead here in the 8th. Tim Raines, his 4th hit of the ball game. He does end up at second base. You could hear a pin drop in Naperville. Adam Wainwright unable to get that last strike on Raines and now has to deal with an even more dangerous Willie Keeler. If this were an active sim here, I would be issuing 4 balls right here and right now to get to Jackie in that right-on-right matchup. We don't have that power afforded to us, so we just have to cross our fingers and hope that Wainwright can get through Keeler here. Comes set, delivers, line drive up the middle, base hit. Charleston scores. Tim Raines scores. It is now 6-3 in the top of the 8th. The Aqua Sox making magic with 2 outs. We go bottom 9. Nomads have some work to do. There's already 1 out in the inning when Jackie Robinson steps in. Now, Johan Santana is on the hill. And as you look at the 3 hitters to follow Jackie here, if you're going to construct a comeback, these are not 4 bad options to have. Robinson, Heilman, Appling, Schmidt. Nomads looking for base runners as they need a quick rally right here. The pitch, and that one's looped into center field. MVP Jackie keeping hope alive here in the 9th. That's a 1-out single. Heilman bats next, and the Nomads crowd gets into it. And that's ball 4. The tying run now comes to the plate in the form of Luke Appling. Appling not a major home run threat. But you never know in a ballpark like this with the wind blowing out. Maybe Appling could touch into one. It's a 1-1 count. Now, on the flip side here, the dangerous side is Appling is a double play candidate. So you want to keep this ball off the ground if you're Appling. You've got Mike Schmidt on deck, who might just be the best power hitter in this lineup. and best chance to issue that game-tying blow. Fans on their feet, the pitch to Appling. He loops this one into center field. Diving catch in center from Charleston. A dead sprint running in from center field. He leaves his feet, and he comes up with the ball. Luke Appling robbed of a single. The Naperville Nomads robbed of the bases loaded. And there are now 2 outs here in the 9th. Up comes Mike Schmidt. Tying run, Mike Schmidt. Facing Johan Santana, we need the matchup analyzer. If we ever need it, we need it now. Game is on the line. Home field advantage is on the line. Johan Santana versus Wright. Mike Schmidt versus left. Definitely an advantage for the hitter. That .474 slugging percentage sticking out significantly for Mike Schmidt. Can he tap into it here with the game on the line? Santana comes set, delivers. Ball 4! Ball 4, Mike Schmidt to first. They are now loaded. Tying run aboard, winning run to the plate. Winning run to the plate. And look what's going on here, guys. We've had a pass ball, so it is now 6-4. The tying run is at second base. The winning run still at the plate, and out of the game goes Oscar Charleston. Into the game comes Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield, a card that I talk a lot about, a card that I recommend a lot to people. And the reason I recommend him is because of what you see in the bottom right corner of your screen. Dave Winfield is what left-handed pitchers' nightmares are made of. They go to sleep at night, and they wake up with a cold sweat at 3:27 in the morning because they've just envisioned Dave Winfield putting one out off the scoreboard in left center. Now, we don't need a scoreboard shot here. A nice little looping single probably ties this game, but wouldn't you want one? Wouldn't you love to see one? Let's see what happens here. Dave Winfield pinch hitting the pitch. Little blooper on the infield. Jackie shifts over, makes the catch, and the Everett Aqua Sox have come into Naperville and stolen game number 1. Tim Raines and Willie Keeler at the center of it all. They're wearing those fire emotes for a reason. Don't let anyone tell you those fire emotes don't mean anything on these broadcasts. We saw Tim Raines and Willie Keeler single-handedly win this game here tonight. And look at that, Dave Winfield. Before that at-bat, Winfield did not have a snowflake. Who's seeing this right now? Before that at-bat, Winfield did not have a snowflake, and now after the at-bat, he does. Did he literally just earn the snowflake in that at-bat? Oh, Dave. Oh, Dave. All right, well, you know what? We fought, we battled, and we came up short. Now, Mike Schmidt and his 5 home runs in the postseason, 2 in this game, that was great to see. Vita Blue just didn't have it. I mean, Vita Blue put up what is effectively a quality start, but it wasn't enough. On the other side, Vita Blue and Glavin teamed up to pick up the W. Let us move on to game number 2. Yeah, Tech 15, you're right. I'm guessing that once the pinch hitter comes in, he doesn't get the ice until after he has an at-bat. But it's fun to think that. It's fun to think that he earned his ice right then and there. All right, so I'm just setting my Game 3 lineup really quickly, just in case we bleed into it. Oh, man. We need to win this game too. You do not want to drop both games at home. Now, I fully believe in the power of Naperville when it comes to Game 6 and Game 7. But I would hate to have to win 2 on the road just to have that chance. All right, to Game 2 we go. Gaylord Perry on the mound for the Nomads facing Fire Tim Raines. Tim Raines was a hero, probably the MVP from Game 1. And he'll look to continue to be a thorn in the Naperville side here in game number 2. He gets this game started versus Gaylord Perry as Gaylord Perry rocks and fires. And there's a line drive single to center. Tim Raines now 5 for 6 in this series. Someone with some early MVP aspirations. We go top 3, first real scoring chance, and look who's on second base. It's none other than Tim Raines. So that means that his first at-bat, he got a hit, didn't score. Second at-bat, got a hit, and is now sitting on second base. Raines' meta appears to be extremely strong. But we've got Felix Hernandez on the hill, and we've got Hernandez on the hill against a lineup full of right-handed batters, which the Nomads should feel pretty good about. But you can't feel good about what's happening on the base paths now. 2 on, 1 out. And the pitch to Jackie, strike 3 called. Felix Hernandez spins up a 75-mile-an-hour curveball, catches Jackie expecting something else. Home plate umpire makes a good call this time, makeup call for Game 1, no doubt. And that's the second out of the inning. It's going to push this rally into the hands of an icy cold Mike Schmidt, and he does not come through. He does not come through at all because we move to the bottom half of the third. Here in the bottom half of the third, we've got Naperville Nomads Luke Appling on first base with 2 outs and Pete Rose at the dish. Let's see if Rose can't split a gap here. The pitch from Hernandez, and that's exactly what he does. He splits a left center field gap, Appling off to the races. From second to third, he's a third. He's going to try to score. No. They will hold him at third base. A questionably conservative call by the Naperville Nomads third base coach, as now you're going to need to count on the bat of Bill Dickey to come through for you. But these are paid professionals. They must have saw something in Luke Appling's gait. I think his nickname is Old Aches and Pains, isn't it? Maybe Appling was looking pained as he was rounding second, heading to third, and so they choose not to send him. And now Bill Dickey bats with the chance to untie this game and put the Naperville Nomads on the board for the first time. Down on the count, 1-2, the pitch. Ground ball, second base should be easy. Picks it, throws it, and that will do it. The Nomads strand 2 at second and third, and we head to the fourth, still tied at 0. Now bottom 4, another highlight for the Nomads, as we've got a pinch-hitting Oscar Charleston stepping up. Who is he pinch-hitting for is the question. Who is he pinch-hitting for? So I think that my 6th hitter is Flood. So Yastrzemski pinch hit for Flood. And my 8 hitter in my opener lineup is... This was just on Final Jeopardy last night. I don't know who it is, but we're going to find out in the box score after the game. Hopefully after Oscar Charleston puts this one in the seats. 1-0 count on Charleston, and Charleston loops this one to right field. That ball's going to get down. Around second, heading to third is Jackie. The throw, not in time. And the Nomads have him at the corners. Which brings up Mike Schmidt, but look at your lineup card. Perfect team players. This is not any Mike Schmidt, no. Nay, I say. Why this is fire. Mike Schmidt. And he's got some evil plans for this baseball, currently being held by Felix Hernandez. Hernandez set the delivery, and that ball is crushed. Deep center field. He did it again. Mike Schmidt, his 6th home run of the postseason, his 3rd of this 2-game World Series. And the Naperville Nomads jump out to a 3-0 lead. Fire Mike Schmidt. stop the party because the Aqua Sox are raining upon it. This is unbelievable. Look who's on second base, guys. This is unbelievable. So we move to the fifth. We've got Charleston at third, and then Satan, as I call him, or Tim Raines at second base, who has apparently reached base for his third time in this game, likely via a double. Oh my gosh. So let's say that's a base hit. He's 6 for 7 in the series. My goodness. Well, now Felix Hernandez has to deal with Willie Keeler and all of his nonsense. He's got him down in a full count here. Let's see if he can't strike him out. The pitch. Ball 4. They are loaded for Jackie. This 3-0 lead, which felt really great about 15 seconds ago, now feels very much at risk. 1-0 count on Jackie. The Nomads need a double play in the worst way. The pitch to Jackie, and he loops this one to left field. Giving chases. Rose, he will get there. He will make the grab. Now thrown to the plate. Not in time. Scoring is Oscar Charleston, a very speedy base runner. The Aqua Sox are now on the board. Mike Schmidt now bats here with 2 away. Now, he is an icy cold Mike Schmidt. Let's hope the Nomads can leverage that and get out of this jam of an inning. Still preserving a 2-run lead. Schmidt laces this one to center. It is down. Around third is Raines, a speedy base runner. He'll score with a throw, but not a close play. It is now 3-2. Much of the Nomads' lead has eroded, as it is now just down to 1. Still in the 5th inning, Felix Hernandez at risk of giving back the entire 3-run lead as he faces Wander Franco here. 1-0 count. The pitch. And Franco laces a single to center. Fast Willie Keeler around third. He will try to score. The throw is late. We have a brand new ball game. 3 consecutive 2-out RBI singles for the Aqua Sox. And the entire helium of this building has been let out. Unbelievable. 3 consecutive 2-out RBI singles. Just backbreaking for a team looking to build momentum off an early lead. Pete Rose now bats here in the 5th. It could still get even worse for the Nomads. The pitch to Rose, and he laces a single to left field. Mike Schmidt, not the best runner, around third. He will try to score. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Surrender Cobra. Surrender Cobra time for this broadcaster, as that's 4 consecutive 2-out singles. Unbelievable. We're still in the 5th. Can the Aqua Sox make it 5 consecutive 2-out singles? The pitch to Piazza. No, this one's got to be extra bases. Wander Franco will score. Rose heading to third. He's going to try to score as well. He will make it. A 2 RBI for Mike Piazza as the wheels have come off for the Nomads here in the 5th. Unbelievable. 5 consecutive 2-out RBI hits for the Aqua Sox. It just keeps getting worse. The inning is finally over. The Nomads into the dugout licking their wounds and now trying to mount a counter attack. Jackie Robinson will bat. He'll face the Aqua Sox Felix. Let's see what this Felix has in mind. The pitch to Jackie, line drive, base hit right field. Yastrzemski, who is on to lead off the inning, will head to second. He'll stop there. Nomads now can very quickly bring up the tying run in the form of Oscar Charleston. Charleston down on the count 0-2. Hernandez winds and delivers. Ground ball to second. Could be trouble to second. 1. And a very slow exchange for Andrelton Simmons, unable to get it out of his glove, is going to allow Oscar Charleston to beat the relay throw that is never made. Now 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And Naperville's hopes are tied to fire. Mike Schmidt, 6 home runs in the postseason, 3 so far in a game and a half between games 1 and game 2. So let's see if he can do something here in the 6th inning. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Ahead in the count, 2-0. Looking dead red heater from Hernandez. Fans on their feet. The pitch to Schmidt. He grounds this one to third. Going to end up being an RBI ground out. As Mike Schmidt throws on over to Pete Rose. That's going to be 6-4. But the Nomads still alive here in the sixth. Oscar Charleston, second base, 2 away. Arky Vaughn at the plate. 3-1 count on Arky. And the pitch. He checked his swing. Did he go? They checked down to third. He did not. That's going to be a 2-out walk for Arky Vaughn and bring up Luke Appling. Now, Luke Appling is a very interesting hitter in that he's better versus the same side. So let's take a look at our matchup analyzer and look at Luke Appling versus left. We see a hitter that's just under league average, a very low slugger, a decent OBP guy. But let's look at him versus right. We look at him versus right, and we see a deadly hitter, a 292 hitter, 369 OBP. Slugging still on the lighter side, but definitely a dangerous bat, and that's exactly what the Nomads need here. They are trailing by 2. They are late in this game. They went through the deflating top of the fifth from the Aqua Sox, and they would give anything for a base-clearing double here from Old Aches and Pains. And the pitch to Appling, strike 3 called. Strike 3 call. Luke Appling takes a curve on the outer half. Didn't like the call, but nothing he can do about it. He will head to the dugout. Now, we go bottom 7. Another highlight for the Nomads. Felix still in the game for the Aqua Sox as Bill Dickey steps in. The pitch to Dickey, and he laces a single to center field. The Nomads will have a runner aboard with 1 away. They are looking for the big one. Willie Keeler not known for his home run heroics, but he can get into one every now and then. The pitch to Keeler, and he floats one to left center. Long run. Sliding over is Charleston. He will make the grab for the second out of the inning. We go bottom 8 now. Out of this game goes Felix Hernandez for the Aqua Sox. Into this game comes Clayton Kershaw. Now the Nomads have used a lot of their bench bats. So the ability to flip back to right-handed hitters are going to be somewhat limited here late in the game, so could be some great matchups in store for Clayton Kershaw. He'll start off with a great one here against Carl Yastrzemski. The pitch, and that one is laced to left center field. Yastrzemski around first, heading to second. He's got extras. He'll slide in there, a leadoff double. And just like that, the tying run will bat for the Naperville Nomads. It's going to bat in the form of Jackie Robinson. He's got a 3-1 advantage in the count. Looking to drive one here if Kershaw comes into the zone. And the pitch. Flies this one to right field and deep. Going back. Caught. Tagging up on the play is Yastrzemski. He'll get to third. But the Nomads still representing the tying run in the batter's box. And we'll need someone to come up with a hit. Now, Oscar Charleston was due, but he will now head back to the dugout, and up to the plate comes Dave Winfield. Icy Dave Winfield, who doesn't show up as icy until he bats. 0-1 count on Winfield, the pitch. And Winfield gets into one! Deep left center! Gone! A pinch hit blast off the bat of Winfield! And we are tied up at 6. Standing ovation, fireworks in Naperville. Dave Winfield is not wearing the snowflake anymore. The only ice he's got is in his veins, says a Yordle named Leona. Oh, Dave Winfield, the hero of the night so far, but we are just tied. There are more heroes to be found, and I certainly hope it's not going to be Tim Raines. Dish with a very good point that we did not update Game 1. So let's do that now. Let's go. There we go. Sorry, Dish. We're very distracted here. All right, bottom 8. Nomads batting here. We've got Bell on first, 2 away for Luke Appling. Not the best hitter versus left-hand pitching. 2-2 count. Wind and the pitch, and he laces this one down the right field line, and that ball's going to go to the wall. Buddy Bell around second, heading to third, not a great runner. He gets to third. They will hold him there. They will hold him at third base the second time in this series. The Nomads third base coach has played it safe on a potential scoring play with 2 outs. The weight of the world now shifts over to Pete Rose. Let's see if he can bear it. Pete Rose batting here, full count, fans on their feet. This place is going to explode if Rose comes through here. Pete Rose versus left. Let's get Kershaw in here. Clayton Kershaw versus right, advantage to the hitter. A .296 hitter. Can he come through for the Nomads here in the 8th? And the pitch. Ball 4! While that's a great development, it's going to leave the Nomads in a very tough matchup here with Bill Dickey versus Kershaw. Dickey's a grinder. Let's see if he can find a base hit here. The pitch, a looper to right center. That ball gets down. Buddy Bell scores. Around third is Appling. He will score. It's 8-6 Nomads. Bill Dickey comes through with a BABIP monster single out beyond second base and in front of right field. It plates 2 and will give the Nomads the lead as they head to the 9th. We go to the 9th. The Nomads 1 strike away from securing the Game 2 victory. Jerry Royce facing Mike Schmidt. The pitch from Royce. Fly ball right field playable. Keeler is there. He makes the grab. Willie Keeler grabs it, and this one is over. Game 2 goes to the Nomads. A wild come-from-behind victory, somehow overcoming the superhuman that is Tim Raines as Dave Winfield hits the pinch hit homer in the 8th. And then Bill Dickey comes through with the big shot to follow. Let's update that score bug as the fireworks are going off. A must-win Game 2 goes the way of the Nomads. And thank goodness. I think we might have a sim here. I really have no sense of space, time, reality. We do. We do have a sim to get to. Let me first check my lineup to make sure I like it for Game 4. Whew. So much going on here, guys. So much going on here. Let me look at my options for Game 4 starter. I think I'm feeling good with what I've got, but I'm not quite sure. And I agree that Tim Raines should be drug tested. What we're seeing right now is ridiculous and definitely against everything. All right, I think let's do... This is not an easy call here. I think we're going to go a little crazy. We're going to go a little crazy here. This is not something that I did a lot during the season. But let's go for it. You only live once, right? All right, Game 4 lineup is set. Now let's go watch Game 3. Let's hope the Naperville Nomads have stolen back home field advantage. Okay, so what do we have going on here? We have the Aqua Sox using an opener again, as I see my opener lineup activated. And he's going to open with Eddie Plank in this one. Eddie Plank will face 3 to 6 right-handed batters here, finishing out with Charleston if he gets that far, and then someone else will come in. Who that someone else is, we shall find out. Pete Rose bats against Plank. And Pete Rose lines one to third. Easy pitch, easy catch. One up and one out. And the Aqua Sox fans have something to cheer about right off the jump. Bottom one, what is going on here? We've got off-camera runs to start the game? I mean, you know who was at the center of it. You don't even need to ask if Tim Raines was involved. Probably hit a homer. Who knows? But it's 2-0 Aqua Sox as Eddie Plank gets going for the Nomads. And this ball is belted. You can forget about it. Mike Schmidt, who's been watching the Nomads version of himself go absolutely bananas this series, decides to get in on the action. Sends his own long ball out to center field. This one 419 feet. And this one giving his Aqua Sox a 3-0 advantage before the Nomads even have their first hit. We go top two. Time for the Nomads to strike back. Oscar Charleston aboard to lead off this inning. Pedro Martinez into this game for the Aqua Sox. 2-2 count. And the pitch. And that ball is crushed down the right field line. That's going to the wall. Runners off to the races here. Archie Vaughn ends up at second. Charleston stops at third. Now nobody out, 2 on. The Nomads cash in one of those runs, so now we have more off-camera runs than on-camera runs. That might suggest we're headed towards a high-scoring affair here. It appears that one run has scored via, I don't know, maybe a ground ball to the shortstop where Archie Vaughn held, maybe a wild pitch where Vaughn couldn't advance. Either way, Vaughn at second, 2 outs for Pete Rose as Martinez going for the strikeout here, and he's not going to get it. That ball is lined into right field. Around third is Vaughn. He's going to try to score. The throw from Keeler, not in time. Rose advances to second on the throw. The Nomads have their second run and now just trail by one more. We go top 5, still 3-2. Yastrzemski batting with 1 out in the inning. The pitch to Yaz, and he grounds one up the middle. Could be 2. Grabbed, throw to first. Wait a minute. And Yaz beats it out. An infield hit, a very odd play for Jackie Robinson. He shifts to his right, fields the ball. Didn't have a play on the other Jackie Robinson at second base. Fires on over to first, but he threw the knuckler. Didn't get much heat on it, and Yaz, not a slow runner by any stretch, but definitely not a Willie Keeler burner, beats out the infield single. The Nomads now in business, 2 aboard, 1 away. Luke Appling, the next hitter. Luke Appling does his best work versus right-hand pitching, and he'll look to do that here. 1-2 count on Appling. That ball gets away! Piazza loses it for a second, finds it. Both runners move up. It's now second and third. The double play out of the question. And now Appling's got an even count and an opportunity to try to hit through a drawn-in infield. And the pitch. And he loops this one to right field. Base hit! 1 run will score. Stopping at third is Yaz. Luke Appling comes through with the opposite field single. We have a brand new ball game, and the Nomads looking for more here in the 5th. And look who they'll send to the plate now. It's Mike Schmidt. This is not a great matchup for him, but we know just how productive Schmidt has been to this point in this series. 3 home runs and counting. 1-2 count on him, the pitch. Fly ball center field, not super deep. Flood is there to make the play. Let's see if Yaz will try to tag. He bluffs and does not run home. Stranded at third is Yaz. Third base coach proving to be conservative yet again. Will hold Yaz there. Everett Aqua Sox fans love it, and the Naperville Nomads need to relook at those base running sliders. Now 2 outs in the inning, 2 strikes on Charleston. The Aqua Sox fans to their feet looking for the strikeout. Looking to get out of this jam. Martinez to Charleston. Line drive. Base hit left field. RBI single through the 5.5 hole for Oscar Charleston. A very nice piece of hitting. Go in the opposite field with a fastball located down and away. And that will score Yastrzemski and give the Naperville Nomads a 4-3 lead. We go bottom 6. It's highlight time for the Aqua Sox, and that makes this broadcaster uncomfortable. Plank winds and deals to Schmidt, and Schmidt crushes this one. He's done it again. Mike Schmidt finds the bleachers in right field. If you ask the Aqua Sox, that's a tasty Oppo taco. If you ask me, that's Eddie Plank not pitching up to his movement. A solo home run, and we're back where we started. A tie ball game. Still bottom 6 after the Schmidt home run. Franco reaches, and now Plank pitches to Rose. Nomads got to be curious about how much longer Eddie Plank's going to go in this one, as Rose walks on a 5-pitch walk, and the Aqua Sox are mounting a rally here in the 6th. Up comes Mike Piazza, full count on him. Sox fans on their feet. Plank winds, delivers, runners moving, strike 3, and the runners make it. Wander Franco and Pete Rose pull the double steal. Mike Piazza swings through strike 3. And Bill Dickey unable to throw out Wander Franco at third base. Effectively a sacrifice for Piazza, as now runners are at second and third and 1 away. Out of the game goes Plank. Into the game comes Jerry Royce, an odd choice, given that Flood, Simmons, and Raines due next. Royce will face Flood here. We have the infield back for the Nomads, conceding the run. And the pitch to Flood. He loops one to left field. That ball's going to get down. Extra bases for Flood or not. Flood is thrown out at second base, but not before. 2-run score for the Aqua Sox. It is now 6-4 Everett on the 2 RBI single for Curt Flood. We go top 7, and the Nomads are in catch-up mode again. Yaz will face Santana. Santana winds, delivers, and walks Yaz on a 5-pitch walk. An advantage for Santana, but he just couldn't find the strike zone. This one 99 on the gun, but well outside. And now the Nomads will look to mount an attack here in the 7th. Luke Appling, the next batter. 1-2 count on him. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Johan Santana blows one by. Luke Appling, first out of the inning. Mike Schmidt unable to do anything, which brings up Oscar Charleston, who is lifted. Lifted for a pinch hitter, and that pinch hitter being Curt Flood. 3-0 count on Flood. He checks his swing. He didn't go. Now 2 aboard. 2 aboard for the Nomads. Arky Vaughn up next. Let's see if Arky Vaughn is pinch hit for as well. And he is. He is. And look who it is. It's Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield, the hero of Game 2. Can he provide heroics here in Game 3? He's even in the count, 2-2. Would love to play some more long ball here. The pitch. Dave Winfield caught looking, 97 on the black. He didn't like the call, but he'll head back to the dugout. And the Aqua Sox get out of trouble, preserving their lead here in the top of the 7th. We'll head to the bottom half. Aqua Sox 6, Naperville Nomads 4. Ooh, this is trouble. This is big-time trouble. Bottom 7. Wainwright into this game for the Nomads, deploying that stopper, trying to hold this score where it is. Wander Franco batting infield in, 1 away. And the pitch to Franco. He flies one to center, and it's well hit. Going back is Flood, back to the wall. He'll make the grab. Now scoring on the play is Jackie Robinson. He'll make it 7-4. The Nomads avoid total and utter disaster here for the time being, But they are still digging an even deeper hole now that exists at 3 runs. We go top 8. It's time to get moving if you're a Nomads fan. Need to start building a rally. Bill Dickey, who has somehow hit left-handed pitching extraordinarily well in this series, does so again. Bill Dickey laces a single up the middle. It's a 1-out single here in the 8th. Jackie Robinson now batting here in the 8th with 2 away. The pitch to Jackie, and he loops one into right field. That ball will get down. Around third is Dickey. He's going to try to score. Not a great runner. Safe. Nomads pick up run number 5. Now trail by 2 as we head to the 9th inning. Into this game comes Vida Blue. He'll start off with Luke Appling. He's got a slate of tough righties to deal with after him. Schmidt, Flood, and Winfield. The pitch to Appling, and that's ball 4. The Nomads start this 9th with the tying run at the plate. Mike Schmidt now bats. Schmidt 6 home runs in this postseason, 3 in the series. Would love to see another one here. Blue comes set, delivers, looped into right center. Going to be a tough play, but ranging out and making the grab is Jackie Robinson. That's the first out here in the 9th. Up comes Kurt Flood. He's even in the count, 2-2. Fans on their feet looking for the strikeout. Blue delivers. Ground ball up the middle. Could be 2. To second, 1 to first. Double play. Boo. I'm booing the fireworks. Man, that cheering is just irritating when they're cheering against you. 10 seconds to the next sim. I quickly escaped that game to look at my lineups and make sure I liked what I was seeing. I think we're looking pretty good. So now let's update our score bug. Well, we can do it once I come back from this view. But Nomads now down 2-1 series. 2 in the series. It's 2-1. Aqua Sox. Losing to the Sox is something I never want the teams that I root for to do. But we've now done it twice in 3 games. Really would like to get an answer here. Now, if and when we can pick up another win, that guarantees a return trip to Naperville. And anyone who's been following the 2041 Perfect League playoffs knows that on the back half of a series, the Nomads are unbeatable at home. Unbeatable at home. We got to get there first, though. We got to get there first. And so look at this. So Vida Blue recorded the final out of Game 3 for the Aqua Sox. He will now be starting Game 4. He will be an opener. We see that as my opener lineup has been engaged here. Pete Rose will start us off versus Blue. Blue winds, delivers, and Rose loops this one into right. Going to be a tough play, and he will not make it. Willie Keeler plays this one on a hop, and the Nomads love this start. Leadoff man aboard here in Game 4. Jackie Robinson also reaches, and that brings up Harry Heilman. Now, Harry Heilman, often talked about as the most dangerous hitter versus left-handed pitching. I'll show you the picture. If you're a fan of the color green, this one's for you. An 839 OPS versus left-hand pitching. Can he tap into that here early in Game 4? Vida Blue set. Delivers, and that runs grounded to third. A diving stop. He'll throw one over to first, and he gets away. Around third is Rose. He's going to score. Jackie Robinson first to third. Heilman ends up at second. That's an error. A throwing error from Wander Franco. The throw ends up in the seats. It's 1-0 Nomads on a very fortunate turn of events. Well, somehow the Nomads don't score any of those next two runners. So second and third, nobody out. The Nomads come up with nothing. And now we go bottom one, and the Everett Aqua Sox threatening. And look who's at third base. Of course, it's Tim Raines. Couldn't be anyone but Tim Raines, as Brandon Webb is pitching to Willie Keeler. The pitch to Keeler, and that gets away. Bill Dickey unable to field it. And that's a wild pitch, and that's a tie ball game. Both defenses putting on a clinic here early in this one. Let's go top three scoring opportunity for the Nomads. Runners at the corners for Mike Schmidt. Made a ton of noise in games 1 and game 2, a quiet game 3. Can he make some noise in game 4? The pitch to Schmidt, runner going. Throw down to second, not in time. A stolen base for Luke Appling. Holding at third on the play is Pete Rose. Runners are now at second and third, 2 out for a 3-0 count to Schmidt. The pitch to Schmidt, he'll take, that's ball 4, and they are now loaded. A huge moment in this game 4 as Oscar Charleston steps up to the plate. Now Oscar put up some very big numbers early on in this game cycle. It is no longer that time. He'll face Gaylord Perry here versus left. Charleston more of a league average bat, but does still have a little thunder in his bat where he can reach the seats every now and then. A 1-2 count on Charleston. Fans to their feet looking for the third out of this inning. Perry comes set, delivers. Check swing, did he go? He did! Strike 3! Strike 3. Oscar Charleston will head to the bench. He leaves them loaded as Gaylord Perry gets the call, and the Aqua Sox get out of the jam here in the third. We go bottom 4. Aqua Sox now with the chance. It's Jackie Robinson versus Addy Joss. 1-0 count on him. A little grounder. Going to be a tough play. Mike Schmidt grabs it. Throw to first. Not in time. Infield single. Jackie Robinson. It was a little squibbler. Mike Schmidt charged it as fast as he could. Fielded and threw in the same motion, but did not get enough on the throw to get the out. And now the Sox have 2 aboard and 1 away. Charleston now steps in against Joss. Runner trying for third. The throw down, not in time. The Aqua Sox are stealing like crazy, and Bill Dickey unable to do anything about it. Willie Keeler takes third. Runners are now at the corners for a 2-2 count against Charleston. Nomads looking for 2, conceding the run, playing double play depth. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Huge strikeout for Addy Joss. This one was him pulling the string on a 77-mile-an-hour changeup. Gets the all-important second out here in the 4th. Now Pete Rose will bat with the rally in his hands. A great hitter versus right-hand pitching. He faces Addy Joss here in a big moment. The pitch, and he lines this one to third. But Schmidt makes the play, throws on over to first in time. The Aqua Sox strand 2 will head to the 5th. Nomads 1, Aqua Sox 1. Top 6, Luke Appling. He'll lead off against Gaylord Perry. Wind and the pitch. Ball 4. Appling works the tough 6-pitch walk, which sets up the Nomads here with a leadoff runner in the 6th. And Mike Schmidt will bat. Now, Mike Schmidt has lost his fire emote, which isn't a great sign, but the pitch to him, and that's strike 3 called. Gaylord Perry drops a beautiful slider in there. Schmidt had no chance. Takes strike 3 looking. He'll head back to the dugout and hand the reins over to Oscar Charleston. Charleston does nothing. And so Arky Vaughn now comes up as the 2-out hopeful for the Nomads here in the 6th. Perry comes set, delivers, and that ball's rifled down the right field line. It's going to the wall. Appling around second. He's off to the races. He'll get to third. Will he stop there? He will not. He's going to try to score. The rally, not in time. The third base coach of the Nomads, a more aggressive play than we've seen earlier on in this series. Green lights Appling, sends him on, and he scores without a play. It's 2-1 Nomads here in the sixth. We go bottom six. Now Fire Willie Keeler will face off against Addy Joss. 3-1 count. And Keeler gets into one. Deep right center. Gone. Willie Keeler gets all of this one. Addy Joss trying to groove in a fastball down to the count 3-1. Not expecting Keeler to jump all over it, which is just what he did. Sends it 400 happy feet for the Aqua Sox fan out to right center. And we have a brand new ball game. We go top seven. Top seven, Gaylord Perry still in the game. He'll face off against Bill Dickey here. 3-0 count. Winding the pitch, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Perry walks him. We'll see how much longer the Aqua Sox stick with him. 2-1 count on Rose. And the pitch. Little dinker around home plate, giving chases Piazza. He reaches up, makes the grab. A foul pop-out for Pete Rose here in the seventh. Now 1 out for Jackie Robinson. He's down to 2 strikes in the count, and as with every 2-strike count, these Aqua Sox fans are up hooting and hollering, looking for that strikeout. Let's see if he gets it. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Gaylord Perry. This one dropping down to a 66-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Jackie Robinson prepared for anything but that. Second out of this inning. We now move on to the 8th inning. Still tied. Into this game comes Adam Wainwright. And he'll start off this inning versus Luke Appling. Wind and the pitch. Appling laces this one up the middle. That's a leadoff single. Turned around a cutter right back through the box. Mike Schmidt now bats, even in the count 2-2. Pitch to Schmidt. He loops this one to left field. It's deep, but playable. Sliding over his Heilman. He'll make the grab. It's the first out of this 8th inning. Up next, Oscar Charleston down on the count 0-2. The pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Wainwright. Puts away a semi-dangerous hitter there in Charleston. Now 1 out away from getting out of this inning, and he finds it. He gets out of it. We go bottom 8. Addy Joss now facing Willie Keeler. Now Keeler has already taken Joss deep. Did so on a 3-1 count in the 5th inning. Does he have something in store for an encore? The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Joss able to paint the outside corner with a heater. Keeler offered at it, but didn't get close to making contact. Top 9, we're still tied, guys. Keeler facing Wainwright. The pitch. Little looper, center field, and that ball's down. Leadoff single for Keeler. Up next, Bill Dickey. 1-1 count on him. The pitch. And Dickey gets into it, but it's right at the right fielder, Willie Keeler. The Nomads Keeler has to retreat to first as that's a line out. Now, Willie Keeler has stolen second base for the Nomads. He's now in scoring position with 1 away as Pete Rose steps in. The pitch to Rose. Grounder to second. Should be playable. Easy pitch, easy catch. 2 up, 2 down now. And the fate of this rally now falls to Jackie Robinson. Everett Aqua Sox fans on their feet looking to push this game to the bottom half. Still tied. Got to get through Jackie first. The pitch. And Jackie crushes this one deep left field. Gone! Ned Hanlon reaches up. Even offered for it. Jumped for it at the left field wall. But Jackie got a little too much. It's a 4-2 Naperville lead. Courtesy of the power off the bat of Jackie Robinson. Now, Jackie not known for his power globally. absolutely showed it as part of the Nomads lineup all year. 28 home runs in the regular season for Jackie. We go bottom 9. Addy Joss still in this game. He faces Jackie, and Jackie gets into one. Driven to center, but playable for Charleston. 1 up and 1 down. Now Joss facing Oscar Charleston here. The pitch, and that's ball 4. The Aqua Sox, as you knew they would, bring up the tying run. And that will bat in the form of Pete Rose. 1-1 count on him. Rose, little dinker out in front of home. Tough play. Wainwright's got it. Throw to first. Not in time. Infield hit for Pete Rose. Maybe if Bill Dickey on the Nomads lineup card wasn't tired, maybe he gets out there and makes that play, but it wasn't meant to be. And so now Mike Piazza bats, representing the winning run. Pitch to Piazza, and it gets away. Bill Dickey chases it down, grabs it, but both runners move up. The double play threat is dead. And now Joss will face Piazza. The pitch to him, strike 3. Fastball, outside corner, gets the out. Now the Aqua Sox down to their last strike. A single ties it, and out loses it. A long one would win it. What's going to happen here? The Nomads bring in Derek Lowe for this final at-bat. Ground ball first base. Rose has it, makes the play. Game over, inning over. And DRC is racing to make some changes in his lineup. As I realize that my Bill Dickey is going to die if he has to play another game. And Bill Dickey is in my opener lineup. So I've got to get him out of there. Got to get Crandall in. But the Naperville Nomads come up with a big win here. "24 seconds till the sim. We're racing against the clock here. Opener lineups updated. I have to imagine this is not the same watching experience that you guys get every week. And I'm either sorry or you're welcome, depending on which side of the fence you're on. But quite a series we have unfolding here. It's gone back and forth. T-Chuck, don't forget, DRC, this is a fight to the death, and any one mistake can be your last. Entirely true. As I think my Bill Dickey was running on fumes there. Let's see what... 86%, that's not horrible. But I don't mind giving him the day off here. So Fury saying it will play to your depth chart if your guy is tired in the opener. I just haven't seen that. Now, I haven't tested that enough, but my concern that it wouldn't work that way convinced me to go make a change. All right, here we go, guys. It's Game 5. And this is not just any Game 5. This is the classic pivotal Game 5. It is 2-2 in the series. If the Nomads can win this game and head back to Naperville, I feel great about my chances. And I bet you the Aqua Sox feel great if they can squeeze this one out and then only need to take one in the Nape. Starting this game is Johan Santana. We know from the Aqua Sox preview, Santana is not going to be long for this game. He will likely be heading on out of here rather quickly. Pete Rose will start this game off for the Nomads. No longer a fire reigns, as pointed out by Great Scott, and thank goodness. Pete Rose puts a charge into this one, but it's playable. Out to center field, Kurt Flood makes the catch. And that's out number 1, and this game is underway. What is surely to be a pressure-packed Game 5. We go bottom 1, and look at this. We've got trouble already. Vida Blue out there pitching to Keeler. He's got 2 aboard, nobody out. The pitch, and this one is looped into left field. It's hit well. Giving chase as Rose. Will he get there? He will. Makes the grab. But scoring on the play is Tim Raines. Someone said he wasn't fire. I don't believe them. As Tim Raines has gotten aboard and scored a run before the Nomads have made any noise. We go top 4, and look at the scoreboard here, guys. We've got a ton of off-camera action. We've got 4-0 Aqua Sox lead as Derek Lowe is now into this game for the Aqua Sox. Pitching to a fiery Mike Schmidt, and Schmidt gets into one. Did he do it again? He did. Mike Schmidt, a tasty Oppo Taco, 4th homer of the series, trying to single-handedly wake up this Nomads offense. He was successful in putting one on the board, that's for sure. It is now 4-1. Lowe now pitches to Yastrzemski here in the 6th. Wind and the pitch, and Yastrzemski gets into one. Is this tasty taco number 2? It is! Carl Yastrzemski, opposite field, got a sinker up in the zone. Sinker ballers like Lowe need to work down low in the zone, pardon the pun, and this pitch was anything but. A belt-high fastball, and Yastrzemski didn't miss it. 359 happy feet for the visiting Naperville Nomads. And now that 4-run lead is quickly down to 2. We go top 8. The Nomads are running out of outs. They are creeping back into this game, but it's getting dangerously close towards the end of it. Only 6 outs remain, and they still need to find at least 2 runs to extend it, 3 runs to win it. Lowe pitching to Rose, and Rose laces a single to right field. Just past a diving Pete Rose and into right field, played by Keeler and brought back in. The Nomads have their leadoff man aboard, which is going to bring up MVP candidate Jackie Robinson, who just happened to be the difference maker in game number 4. The pitch to Jackie, and he lines one to third, could be 2 to second, 1 to first, double play. A back-breaking twin killing for the Nomads, and just what the doctor ordered for an extreme ground baller like Derek Lowe. 2 outs in the 8th. Now we go to the 9th. Derek Lowe is going to try to finish this one off himself. He'll do so and have to work with Luke Appling here to lead off this inning. The pitch. Little looper, right field and down. Appling starts off the inning with a single. And that's going to bring up Mike Schmidt. And not just any Mike Schmidt. Fire. Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt that we've seen hit 4 homers in this series already. 7 in the postseason. And he's looking for more here. He just happens to represent the tying run. And the pitch to Schmidt. Ground ball, could be 2. To second, 1. To first, double play for the second time in 2 innings. The Nomads get a leadoff man on and immediately erase it via the double play. Derek Lowe working that sinker down in the zone exactly as he wants to. 2 outs in this 9th, and now the Nomads start over with Charleston if he reaches Archie Vaughn. 1-0 count. Fans on their feet. Charleston flies this one to left. Should be playable. Rains coming on. He'll make the grab. The Aqua Sox fans love it. They see their Everett team here win 2 of 3 at home, and now only need 1 as they travel to the rough and tumble city of Naperville. Fireworks in Everett. Fireworks in Everett. Let's look at the box score. We've really not seen many box scores here tonight because we've been rushing back and forth. As we look at this one, we see the combination of the Everett opener, Derek Lowe, follower working wonders. Santana clean through 2, Lowe only giving up 2 over the balance of 7 innings. On the other side, Vida Blue didn't have it. 4 runs, only 1 of them earned though. So Luke Appling made an error causing 3 unearned runs. We got to find it. We need to find this error from Luke Appling. So it's going to be in the first inning. There it is, Tim Raines. So Tim Raines lost his fire, but maintained his magic voodoo. So he hits a ground ball to Luke Appling, 69 miles per hour off the bat, and Luke Appling unable to field it. All right, so some soul searching in need here. These Nomads are heading home, and they've got a Herculean task. They've got to find the right lineup, find the right pitching combination to get this done. I'm going to do some analysis here, look at some box scores, figure out what I want to do. The Everett team running out a pretty balanced lineup. Righties, lefties. I mean, we're all hoping for a Game 7. I know that. Those rooting for me, those rooting against me, everyone's rooting for a Game 7 because wouldn't that just be epic? Wouldn't it just be epic? So let's see, what do we want to do in game number 6? That's the question. That is the question. All right, I think I know the answer. Yeah, that feels like the answer. That's what we'll do in 6. And then in Game 7, I think Game 7, yeah, okay. I think we're good to go. So we're 5 minutes away from an empty sim. It's going to be the travel day. It's when Everett has to get on their team plane and head to the menacing town of Naperville that no team has been able to win in on the back half of a series. The Mashers lost Game 5. The Cutthroats lost Game 6. The Chad Golden Rumps lost Games 6 and 7. So on the back half of a postseason series, the Naperville Nomads are 4-0, and they're going to need to make that 6-0, or else the Everett Aqua Sox are your perfect league champion. Meme Lord wondering what stadium the next two games. Next two games are in Naperville, and it's a neutral stadium with maxed out power. So, let's look at some numbers. Let's take a chill pill here and look at some numbers like we do every week. So first, let me confirm that I've got the right year selected. I think I do. I just want to make sure 2041 on the hitting and then 2041 on the pitching. Perfect. And we'll come back. So in the bottom right of your screen, you see the best hitters of the week. So these are every hitter in Perfect League for this week that reached a minimum threshold. I think I put it at like 400 plate appearances, something small. Ranked by bat value. Ranked by who was most deadliest with the stick in their hands. And this week, the answer to that riddle is John McGraw. Now, Cupid Childs, Pete Rose, they've been beating McGraw in weeks past, and McGraw said, enough of that. Enough of that. And he didn't just win this week, he crushed this week. 19.4 runs produced by his bat, over 600 plate appearances, for a card that is deployed every day, unlike a platoon-heavy card like Childs or Boggs or even Deacon White. So John McGraw, the champion of this week in Perfect. This card is a tournament special edition card, so you can't pull this one in packs. You've got to win this one or buy this one from someone who has. After John McGraw, we had Cupid Childs coming in second. with a very productive week at 14.74. Behind him, another platoon lefty, Wade Boggs at 13.58. We cascade down to Deacon White, Pete Rose, Heilman, Robinson, Molitor. But instead of throwing that all at you in rapid succession, let's go position by position. So we'll start with catchers. So Bill Dickey, the only catcher producing positive runs with his bat. Now, Bill Dickey, oftentimes platooned, as you see me using him, as the catcher versus right-hand pitching, sitting versus left-hand pitching. Del Crandall, the oftentimes other half of that platoon, comes in at the bottom of this list. So Del Crandall at negative 16.69. Now, well beneath Piazza, who's the other right-hand hitter on here, but Crandall's going to give you a lot better production with the glove. Now, as far as lefties go, it goes Dickey, Maurer, and then McCarver. Maurer and McCarver being right next to one another. If we go by splits here, first looking at versus right, you see that Dickey, a standout versus right, a wildly popular and positive bat, 10.38 bat R per 600 plate appearances. And you see that cascade down to the black hole that is Del Crandall at negative 33. And then swapping out to versus left, we see Piazza creep above league average at 2.68. Crandall just beneath it at negative 4. Power heavy profile. And then down in the black hole territory, you got McCarver and Dickey. Let's move on over to first base. So Deacon White is a card that just doesn't get used as much as arguably it should. It's a really interesting card. It's not that expensive. Let's see if there's one in the auction house. There's one up for 37,000 points right now. Not a ton when we're talking about cards that can hit in perfect. Now, this is a small sample size, so before you rush out and buy it, think about what we're looking at here. But this is a profile that's going to hit. And a Void K that's off the charts versus right. Decent eye. A great base runner. So 86 speed, 99 stolen bases. And his stock defense everywhere. First base, third base, catcher, right field. A card that is, in my opinion, slept on. Now, I don't have him as part of my build, because it's a case of musical chairs. It's hard to figure out where he fits. But if you're someone who's lacking a meta piece and you can slot in Deacon White maybe as your DH versus right, I think there's some profit to be had there. We'll move on from first base to second base. At second base, Cupid Childs comes in number 1, Jackie 2, the new Joe Morgan coming in at 3. And as we toggle to versus right, we see Joe Morgan leapfrog Jackie. So now that we are right before the sim, let me make just a couple changes here that I just thought of. I fully expect the Aqua Sox to go to that opener lineup, or the opener deployment strategy that they've been using this entire series. So I think we'll see that continue. And so it's just a matter of figuring out how we want to play it. Making sure that after that opener leaves, the lineup's going to play the way that I want it to. All right, I think we're in a pretty decent spot now. Nick Waddick saying that the Aqua Sox ruined his bracket this week by winning and last week by losing. Yeah, Nick picked against me last week when I faced these Aqua Sox. And this week he picked me. All right, opener lineup's looking good. Scheduled starter looking good. My options for starter are Gaylord Perry, Jerry Royce, or Felix Hernandez. Kershaw also available. All right, I think I like where we're going. Feeling good about the Game 6 plan. Feeling good about the Game 7 plan. One more thing to check, and then we'll be good to go. We can look at some more data. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So I've got some bullpen issues just in terms of availability. Tom Glavine not available for this one. Glavine is typically a setup guy for me. So we'll have to make do without Tommy G. All right, that's it. That's my final answer, Your Honor. You know what let's do before this sim comes in, let's take a look at MVP consideration, because if the Aqua Sox win here, they're obviously going to get one. And their Tim Raines has been deadly. You know, I feel like we've seen every bit of damage that he's done, though. So 9 hits in the series, definitely noteworthy. 1 home run, 2 ribbies, an OPS right at 1. But Mike Schmidt's been every bit as dangerous, doing so in a smaller sample. 429 average, 857 slug. So between my Mike Schmidt and his Mike Schmidt, we're at 6 home runs and counting. We might even see more. My Mike Schmidt slugging 895 on the series. I wonder if I should force Dave Winfield into this game. Dave Winfield hit that home run. He's very much suited for my ballpark. Willie Keeler not having the best series in the world. It's tough to take Keeler out because he can hold his own versus left. But Winfield is just so deadly versus left. Wheels are spinning over here. Let me check what I'm going to get from the Aqua Sox. Okay. I think we're decided. So getting back to our data exploration, we're looking at second baseman right now. We can go ahead and leave there, go to third base. And here we have a lot of our new players. So interesting data to look at here. Of our new players, Buddy Bell coming in best at 3.13. We have Mike Schmidt at 2.16. Now, David Wright in a small sample was wildly terrible at negative 24.34. When that card came out, I really did expect it to be competitive with the bat. Now, the glove is definitely going to pale in comparison to Schmidt and Bell. I just expected a lot more from the bat, and so far, we're not getting it. Now, 530 plate appearances, you can throw that sample right out the window. Not nearly enough to make any sort of broad proclamations, but I'm definitely disappointed not seeing more right data, and of the data that we have, it not being more productive. We move from third base, we'll go to shortstop, and here we see Luke Appling with actually the best shortstop bat. Imperfect. Just ahead of Arky Vaughn. Now, Appling and Vaughn are a funny combo. One's right-handed, one's left-handed, so you'd logically think I'll deploy one versus left and the other versus right. Doesn't work that way, though, because Appling does his damage versus right-hand pitching just the same as Arky Vaughn. So you've got to be creative in how you get both of those bats in on their strong side and then limit the exposure to their weak side. Vaughn being worse versus left than Appling. Now, Barry Larkin, unfortunately, I think it's just about time for Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin was one of my favorite profiles and favorite bats for a very long time in Perfect League. And you really pick him for his versus left, which I'll show right here. And, there were weeks where he was one of the best bats versus left. High average, high slug, good OPS, also a great base runner. Wasn't a horrible defender. But I think with all the new cards that have dropped and all of the baseline being stolen by other better hitters, Barry Larkin's time has come and gone. Can we get an F in the chat for Barry? Now, it's not crazy that Barry has a comeback week next week. I mean, look what happened in 2039 and then 2040. So, Barry is one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite players. I'm rooting for it. I'm just not holding my breath for it. Just not holding my breath for it. So here's the rest of the shortstop numbers. We'll start moving to the outfield. Here's left field. We got a couple new cards here as well. Pete Rose coming in as our best hitting left fielder. Hank Greenberg. So Hank Greenberg, which is a lefty masher, righty, whatever the opposite of a masher is, coming in with a positive bat R here. Now people are putting him in the right chances to be successful, but in those plate appearances, he's doing well. I would not hold it against someone if they used and chose Hank Greenberg as their VL masher to either be a corner outfielder or their DH versus left. Let's see if more people start doing that next week. Greenberg's got that really powerful profile. Let's take a look at it real quick. Hammer and Hank Greenberg, that VL. I mean, this is a horrible bird. Like, we would have called this the worst bird last year, bird profile, where the power is actually 44 higher than the contact and a ton higher than the avoid K. But so far for Hank Greenberg, getting it done. Now, as far as the left-handed options in left field, Yastrzemski hitting more than Musial. He's at 2.49, Musial underwater at negative 0.99. Let's move to the other corner, right field. We've got Harry Heilman leading the charge here at 7.77. Rose right behind him. Enos Slaughter, who is he's working on his 9th life right now. We keep thinking that people will stop running him in perfect, but people do, and they keep getting value out of the bat. Another week above average for Enos Slaughter, 0.88. Winfield, Chicken Wolf. Chicken Wolf had a huge year. What is this? -3 for Chicken Wolf? We got to head to the hitter decay model right now, because Chicken Wolf does not hit like that in perfect. So let's go to complete data. Look at this. What in the world's going on here? So Chicken Wolf, after spending the past 9 consecutive weeks as an offensive pit, this week was a near league average bat to go along with his great base running and to go along with his great defense. Chicken Wolf was every bit the hitter that Dave Winfield was this week, which makes no sense. So we'll have to watch this number. Will Chicken repeat this in 2042? Or will this prove to be an outlier just like 2039 looks like right now? 2039, he was worse than horrendous at negative 18.3. So we'll head back and close out our positions here in center field. And as we do so, we see there are 2 hitters above water. Paul Hines at 2.33. The Turney Special Edition card, and Kurt Flood just above at 0.15. Charleston, -9. Hanlon, -15. And then the new Lloyd Mosby at -19. Port Dog asking about Bresnahan. I don't think so. Let me turn the position filter off and see if we get enough sample to have. Just do a quick search for Bresnahan. No Bresnahan this week. We'll have to see for next week. We did have Rocco, but Rocco was not in a large enough sample. So there's one Roger Connor in the league. He made it 106 plate appearances, and within those plate appearances, hit 5 home runs, OPS plus of 128. So Rocco delivering in short sample for the San Angelo Warbirds. Mel Ott is the next question. Let's see what we got for Mel. Nothing. Not enough sample for Mel Ott. All right, guys, 1.5 minutes. It is time that we return our focus to the series. We are due for 2 games in Naperville. 2 games only if the Nomads can win Game 6. Now, the Nomads faced this exact same hole against the Chad Golden Rumps in the semis. Were able to win Game 6, able to win Game 7. Now, that Game 6 was a 4-0 win. That Game 7 was a 4-0 win. And the nerves of this broadcaster would certainly appreciate something similar to that. Guys, I don't know. I am going to be a nervous wreck if the Nomads win this game. And we're heading to a Game 7. Oh, man. Right now, it feels like there's nothing to be too overly excited about right now. Right now, I'm playing defense. Right now, I've got to win this game just to have a chance. And so it doesn't feel all that real, the chance to win the title, that is. But if I'm able to polish off this game and get into next one, man, I'm going to be a wreck in that Game 7. You guys remember the 2016 World Series when Anthony Rizzo was talking to David Ross? Said something to the effect of, like, I can't handle my emotions. This is too much. I'm a glass cage of emotion, or whatever he said. That'll be me. Yeah, only a couple Roger Connors out there. I've actually been surprised by how few Roger Connors that have made it into circulation, especially given the volume of people ripping for him. I think people ripped more for Connor than any other drop we've had on Thursday. Maybe the Negro League collection would be an exception. Sim is in, guys. Sim is in. We are either heading for a Game 7 or the Nomads will fall short, lose at home. That can't be. Nomads can't lose at home. Nomads 4-0 in the back half of a series at home. Can they build on that here tonight? Brandon Webb will get the start for the Naperville Nomads here in this Homer Happy Park. And we'll start with Ned Hanlon. Nomads fans on edge before this game even starts. Likely to be very active all night long. Line drive, left field, base hit. Ned Hanlon starts this one off in style for the Aqua Sox. We know the Aqua Sox love to steal bases, and the top of this order, Hanlon, Raines, Keeler. Let's see if we see them active early on. Up comes Raines. He has been an absolute monster this entire series, trying to avoid that here, and this one's rifled into the left center field gap. Hanlon off to the races. Rose has it, fires it in, and that will actually hold Hanlon at third. But nothing changes the fact that the first 2 batters have reached via single and double. Up comes Willie Keeler. Naperville Nomads not playing with the infield in here, conceding the run, trading that for an out if they're so lucky. Willie Keeler is wearing the fire emote. Doesn't come up with one here. Ground ball to short, played by Appling. It's going to be the first out of this inning. Now it does give the Aqua Sox the early lead. It is 1-0. Very early in game number 6. We go bottom 1. It is time to strike back. Pete Rose aboard, the leadoff hitter for the Nomads, and Harry Heilman up with a plus-plus matchup facing Vida Blue, who is certainly an opener. This will be the only chance Heilman has to face Blue here tonight. So he's going to have to get in all his damage in this plate appearance. The pitch to Heilman, and that ball is crushed to the left field line. It's going to the wall. Pete Rose will score easily. Sliding into second with an RBI double is Heilman, and we are tied at 1. You know, when you know your opponent is running an opener, you know you've got a very short window to get to them with the top of your lineup. And I love seeing Heilman do it. And I would love even more to see Schmidt build on it. What does Schmidt have in this series? 4 home runs? Make it 5 here, Schmitty. Line in the pitch to Schmidt. And that's belted deep to left center. Way back. It might be. It could be. It is. Mike Schmidt. Absolutely on fire. Bringing back visions of Ken Caminiti versus Pidge, as he sends this one deep into the Naperville night. 3-1 Nomads here in the first. Fireworks in Naperville. We go top 2, and these Aqua Sox, they are just relentless. They never stop loading the bases. They never stop. This time it's Andrelton Simmons batting with an 0-2 count. The pitch from Hernandez, swing and a miss, strike 3. Able to get the sinker by him down in the zone. Simmons expanding the strike zone. That's going to be the second out. Hernandez able to get out of the rest of that jam without any further damage, and will now move to the 4th. Still protecting that 2-run lead. He'll start this inning off against Build a Legend Pete Rose. 1-0 count. The pitch. And Rose lines this one down the first base line. Heilman made an effort for it. Came up empty. The net result's going to be a double. No, look at Rose go. He's trying for 3. It's a leadoff triple for Pete Rose on the defensive miscue from Harry Heilman. Icy cold Bill Dickey, unable to bring in Rose, so that now passes the baton to Wander Franco. Hernandez looking for some sort of unproductive out here to keep Rose stapled to that third base bag. The pitch. Little blooper, right field, that's going to find pasture. That's an RBI single for Wander Franco, a card that was removed from a lot of perfect teams this week, but not from the Aqua Sox, and paying dividends here with an RBI single. 3-2 Nomads. We go top 5, and whenever I see my pitcher facing a fiery hitter like this Willie Keeler, it's full clinch time. We've got Tim Raines aboard because, of course, Tim Raines is aboard. And Felix Hernandez pitching to Willie Keeler in a home run happy ballpark. The pitch. Fly ball. Deep right field. Going back is Keeler. Back at the wall. He makes the grab. Woo! On a night like tonight with the wind blowing out, Keeler just misses this one and giving his team the lead. We go top 7. Another highlight for the Aqua Sox. Arky Vaughn steps in as a pinch hitter. The pitch, and Vaughn laces this one down the left field line. It's going to the wall. Vaughn will slide on into second base. That's a leadoff double for the Sox. The relentless attack continues. Now, how much longer will Felix Hernandez be trusted with the ball with a rested Nomad bullpen? Hernandez will face Hanlon at a minimum. He's got him even in the count, 2-2. Felix comes set, delivers. Fly ball center field, long run. Charleston on his way in. He'll make the grab. Bluffing a run to third is Vaughn. He won't go. And that's the first out here in the 7th. Up next is Tim Raines. Oh, my goodness. I told you that Dave Winfield is the reason that pitchers lose sleep. Well, Tim Raines is the reason that I'm going to lose sleep. Because Jerry Royce, now to this game in relief, has to face Raines. He's down on the count. 3-1 the pitch, and that is ball 4. Very tense moment in Game 6 coming up. We've got fire. Willie Keeler batting with 2 men aboard. The go-ahead run being in the form of the extremely speedy Tim Raines. Royce winds, delivers, and Keeler gets into this one. Deep to left field. That will fly away. Three-run shot off the bat of Willie Keeler. He was wearing the fire emote for a reason. Jerry Royce, a seemingly decent matchup versus a left-handed Keeler, unable to retire him. And it is now Aqua Sox 5, Naperville Nomads 3 here late in Game 6. Still in the top of the 7th. Next batter, even, is Jackie Robinson. Royce winds and delivers. And Jackie puts a charge into one. Deep to center field. The Aqua Sox have gone back-to-back. Make it 6-3. You could hear a pin drop here in the thrill. Bottom 7, though, guys. Way to tick, way to tick, way to tick. We've got the tying run at home plate. Tying run at home plate in the form of Jackie Robinson, but not any Jackie Robinson, no. This is the Naperville Nomad Jackie Robinson, for my money. The odds-on favorite for Perfect League MVP. 28 home runs in the regular season. 6.3 wins above replacement. Put all that behind us and just connect with one here, Jackie. It's a 1-1 count. This stadium ready to explode if you give it a reason. The pitch. Ground ball, first base. Rose fields it, takes it to the bag himself. That's going to end the inning. Strand 2 runners. We head to the 8th. Aqua Sox 6. Naperville Nomads 3. We go top 8. Nomads in prevention mode here, just trying to hold it where it is. And Wainwright will face off against Wander Franco. The pitch, and that one is laced down the left field line. Extra bases for Wander. Very long run for Yaz, who has shifted to the opposite field. Lucky to keep Franco to a leadoff double. Now 2 on, 1 out for Tim Raines. Oh, Tim Raines. The same Tim Raines who, if you look at the numbers in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, produces a -4 bat R globally in Perfect League. That Tim Raines, and he'll bat against Wainwright. The pitch, and Raines lifts one into right, a base hit. Franco around third, he'll stop there, and they are now fully loaded for Willie Keeler. Keeler does not, well, the rally ends. It looks like the Everett Aqua Sox add 1 run and now lead 7-3, and we are down to the final out for the Nomads. It is Tom Glavine on the hill for the Aqua Sox, facing Pete Rose. The Nomads need a miracle now. It would look something like Rose getting aboard, Robinson getting aboard, and then Yastrzemski hitting a same-side bomb. Glavine to Rose. Rose fly to right. Standing there is Fire Willie Keeler. He catches it. And that is the ball game. The Everett Aqua Sox come into the thrill and do what no team could do before. Winning in Naperville, celebrating with an interpretive dance routine out in front of home plate, and becoming 2041's Perfect League World Series winner. We take a look at the box score because we have to. And we see that for the 6th time in a row, Everett went to the opener, went to the opposite-handed opener. Vida Blue was horrendous in his stint early in the game, gave up 3 runs in his 6 batters faced, but then Felix came in and completely closed the door. 27 batters faced, retired most of them. He went 7 1/3, gave up no earned runs. On Naperville's side, we had a same side at opener. Brandon Webb was bad. Felix Hernandez, not good enough. And then Jerry Royce came in, and in his 3 batters, gave up 2 home runs. Did not get it done. If Tim Raines isn't the MVP, I think we riot. Let's go find out. Tim Raines, MVP for the Aqua Sox. He was literally on base the entire series. Every time you turned around, he was being a problem. He not only had an OBP of 481, he had a slugging of 640. So a triple slash line of 440, 481, 640 on a global perfect league average of 252, 313, 402. So Tim Raines' meta was strong in this one, and he will take home with him the MVP trophy. Let's update our brackets and see who ended up on top of the bracket challenge. We give Aqua Sox the win. The final score in the final game was 7-3, which is 10 total runs. Let's see if that ends up mattering. We view the standings, and it did end up mattering. So we have Water as our winner, 23 points. We have Cali Cal as our second place team, 22 points. And then tied for third is Mac Jacks and S Cannon, 755. But Mac Jacks had 8 on the tiebreaker. S Cannon had 6. And so Mac Jacks, by way of tiebreak, will win the third place prize. If you don't know what we're talking about right now, let me tell you. So every Sunday, I send out a blank bracket for you to fill out. So the moment that the far left and far right of this bracket is known, I send out a blank version. And then you predict who within each series is going to move on. So you could have picked the Nomads to win this series or lose. You could have picked the Cutthroats to win or lose. You could have picked every matchup all the way through. And then you pick your champion. And you pick a tiebreak of how many runs are going to be scored in the final game. And then your bracket will be compared against all the other submitted brackets. Now, if you're a winner, you get 50,000 perfect points. This is no small prize here, guys. That's enough to buy that Deacon White card that I was talking about earlier. If you get second place, you get 20,000 perfect points. Third place, 10,000 perfect points. And oh, by the way, if you have a perfect bracket, which we've never had, you get a 50,000 perfect point bonus. So eventually we'll have a winner who's taken home 50,000 perfect points for winning and 50,000 perfect points for having a perfect bracket and totaling 100,000 perfect points. So if you didn't do that this week, do it next week. And the way to find it is on the Discord. I pretty much post it everywhere. In my Discord, in Kidney's Discord, in the Out of the Park Discord. I put it in the PT22 general channel. I put it in the Perfect League channel. If you're not a Discorder, you can go to the website. You can just go directly to the website. It is bracket-world.com. And you just search for the bracket once it is available. It will become available on Saturday nights around 10 o'clock Central. And then you will be allowed to fill that out until Sunday mornings at 11:15 Central when the simulations start cranking. So great opportunity to win some perfect points for yourself. So for the winners this week, I will make sure that Water, Cali Cal, and Mac Jacks all get their prizes. And then next week we'll have 3 new winners. And now for all of you, for the straw poll that we ran, the numbers settled in at 78% Nomads, and I've let you all down tonight. The Everett Aqua Sox have won. I congratulate the Everett Aqua Sox. They are now Perfect League champions. They have been in Perfect 2 weeks in a row, made the playoffs both weeks. Now get a 1 perfect level icon next to their name after the next simulation here. And we'll be back next week to do it all again. Now, keep your eyes peeled on the Perfect League channel. Once all the Diamond Leagues are in and I have a chance to look at them and update them, I will be posting who the new crop of owners is. Because for those that are uninitiated or unaware, the way that this works is this league that we're broadcasting the World Series of right now relegates a ton of teams. This is a 40-team league. If you do not make the 16-team playoff, you are relegated. You are sent to Diamond. And taking their place is 1 team from each of the 24 Diamond Leagues, the team that won the World Series in Diamond. So as we are talking these Diamond World Series, which most of them are probably already over by now, like for example, this one that I just clicked on, the Erie Otters beat the Newark White Sox, meaning the Erie Otters will be on their way up to Perfect next week. So if this was your first time joining, make sure you join us each and every Sunday night as we do the Perfect League World Series. This concludes our Perfect League World Series for the year 2041. Looking forward to 2042 and looking forward to a future World Series which might just have a different outcome than the one we saw this evening. I appreciate you all putting up with my very much biased broadcast as my Naperville Nomads were on the doorstep but unable to cash in. And we will see what next week holds for us. I've been your host, DRC, and this has been my pleasure, and we will see you next week. Darn Tim Raines.